Welcome to the Ship's Gonna Happen, a trucking podcast, episode number 59. My name's Tony B. Alongside me, as usual, is David B. and Timmy D. Today's topics, man, Jeremy is back in the house in the studio for a second visit.
Yeah.
Jeremy, welcome back, brother.
Thank you, appreciate it.
We're excited to have him. We'll catch up with him and ask him some questions on issues and topics in the industry. Topic one, prices are going up again and again and again. I got a quick hit list on what's going up and then the prices on them. Number two, Walmart, $110,000 a year for driving, man. Are you guys in on that?
Let's talk about that.
Recent video from John Oliver on HBO on truck drivers. We'll cover that with David again. We're just three Americans discussing topics that affect the transportation industry. Our views, the views of us three, are purely news-driven and do not express the views of any transportation provider or any business entity that uses a transportation provider. Timmy D, we do it for what?
Transportainment.
Boom. That's why we do it, the transportainment. Ship's Gonna Happen. You can catch us on a lot of platforms: YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Google Podcast, Amazon, iHeartRadio. Basically, you just Google us in the Google section, Google Ship's Gonna Happen, and you can find us on any platform that you listen to. Again, my name's Tony B. Good morning. David, how are you today, brother?
I am doing well, producer Tony. Good to see you. I hope you had a great vacation. It's
Yes.
been a couple weeks since we've been in studio. Little snow on the vehicle this morning, not something you really want to see with this early in April and stuff. So, but it's been a Ship's Gonna Happen week, definitely, and we got a lot of stuff to catch on. This is the first time in 3 weeks we're back in the studio. It's good to see everybody. Timmy D, how are you this morning, my friend?
Timmy D.
I'm good. I'm just not down at the Great Divide at 743 North.
East
East.
New York Street,
West.
downtown Indy. And,
You like that?
I did, yes.
No.
Right, anyway. Gosh, I don't know, why do I even bother?
All right, let's go back to David B. for our sponsor is...
Great Divide, 743 East New York Street, downtown Indianapolis. Good place to go. So the reason why I skipped that is because I spent way too much time in there last night. I'm extremely hungover today. There's so many shots of tequila, so many beers, and the music.
Tequila?
Yep.
No Jägermeister?
Yep.
Tequila.
Pardon?
No Jaeger?
No Jaeger.
Come on.
No Jaeger.
That he knows of.
Yeah, there might have been a shot or two. And the good music to David Meek last night. It was
the piano
a nice
man.
setting. Yeah, we started at Harry and Izzy's, drank 4 beers for $40. 4 beers for $40. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you went over to the Great Divide and decided, I'll have 20 tequila shots for $40.
Exactly. And we threw St. Elmo in there in between, and that was a good meal and just a
What did
good
it taste
experience.
like?
But
That'd be a good sponsor,
Elmo
wouldn't it?
tasted fuzzy. So yeah, would they be a great sponsor? Our waiter was Yugoslavian. His name is Andre, and he was the shit. He was so good.
Most people from Yugoslavia are.
He was good. So ended up, like I said, it's Great Divide, 743 East New York Street, downtown Indy. Just a great place to go, kind of unwind after a Ship's Gonna Happen week. So there's a sponsorship, assholes. So
You got to drop them when you can. Let me say this. So one thing when we talked pre-show that has not come up yet, you guys obviously aren't into it like I am, is the Masters. It's Masters.
love
see, that was
Love
part
it,
of,
love
but
it,
that was
love it.
part of random thoughts. So
I'm
that
just
was gonna
saying,
be.
I'll hold it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's the
Tiger
most-
for the win.
when the Masters happens, the entire American population gets behind summer's coming. Is all
Yeah,
I got.
that's what it is. You're
I
right.
like that.
The snow's out of here, although it is snowing today. But
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
the Mongolian, the church. I mean, it's just the Masters is unbelievable. If you guys get a chance to go, you guys will you will think it's the most beautiful place on planet Earth.
Oh, I bet.
Is that an invitation? You buying? I'm in if you're buying.
I mean, if we can get in, I'm in. But I've been for. About 5 years ago, we got my dad was drawn for practice tickets on Wednesday, and believe it or not, fun fact, real quick. I know it's kind of random thoughts already, but most hole-in-ones at the par 3 contest ever was that year.
Do you see
I
the
think I
picture of
remember that.
Tiger's practice round? How many people showed up for his? It looked like a
Oh, yeah.
Sunday
People
afternoon.
excited, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Tiger by 12.
So Jeremy's in the
Tiger's down
studio.
by 4, by the way.
Jeremy's
12.
in the studio. Jeremy, hey, how are you doing, brother?
Phenomenal yourself.
Doing good, man.
good to have you
Welcome
back,
back,
Jeremy.
Second visit.
I don't know what to say.
Hall of Fame.
I haven't been banned yet.
Yes.
Tony B's wife was not proud of you being here last time. But
Before I forget, our Hall of Famer needs to give us that. Hey, this is Jeremy, and you're listening to this sometime.
Oh, yeah, we'll
we
get
can't,
that.
We
Yeah,
can't forget
absolutely.
to do
Jot that
today.
down.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
did you say jot?
I said I did, John.
That's
By
a
the way, we
school
went
term.
to a public school together at one point in our lives.
Go write that down for me.
And
So I
I'll tell you
can,
right now, it was not the
Obvious.
country as he speaks of.
There we go.
Right.
So, Jeremy, how are these fuel prices hitting you in the driving side?
they're expensive, but for me, my company, my tractor especially, is a compressed natural gas. So we're not getting hit with the diesel prices like everybody else is.
Dang. So the compressed gas prices have maintained, kind of held where they're at?
I imagine. I don't see them.
Okay.
But it's we get back to the hub, and just each of our parking spots has a hose that runs to it and plug it in.
That's freaking cool, man.
Does your parking spot say legend only? Just curious.
No.
Does it have a Dale Earnhardt Sr. tag on it so everybody knows who gets it?
Nobody knows who Dale Sr. is anymore, and that's a tragedy in itself.
Here we go.
Every day, somebody will see my work jacket, it says Intimidator on it. Who you intimidate? I'm Dale Sr. Who's Dale Sr.? All right, I'm out of here. Bye.
Yeah, there we go.
Dang.
Just leave the conversation
Yeah,
alone.
no, we're
it's
not
still a
having this.
conversation at the end of the
YouTube
day.
it.
Yeah. YouTube. Is he on YouTube?
Are you kidding me? Just go past. Next.
So Jeremy, while you don't have to deal with the fuel prices at all, what are you hearing out of the drivers? So you're
Oh, I see the fuel price. I pay attention. And really, most of them are still saying high. If you get into areas where they're less concentrated in truck stops, like you get down to Memphis, Indiana, they're going to be 10, 15 cents higher. Wyland, Indiana, truck stops.
$5.
Going to be 10, 15 cents higher.
$5.19 is what I saw this morning.
Yeah,
for
it's
diesel.
about right. Yeah,
So,
it's usually I've seen $5.25 for most of the week, $4.25 for unleaded. Kentucky's a little bit cheaper. I've been having people about these fuel tax, how much we pay in fuel tax,
that's a good
and how bad these roads are.
Yep.
The fuel tax are actually supposed to go towards. That's my anger
Yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Coming through downtown Indy this morning, you can definitely see all the construction that's kind of still taking its sweet time and getting done. It's supposed to be done in November, but they're coming along. But a lot of the roadways are
God.
definitely not in very good condition. So
Let's talk. So here's what bugs me about construction. So Indianapolis, where we're based out
Orange
of.
cones is all. Indianapolis is
The
orange
thing
cone.
is, they started this mega project downtown where all the splits and everything. We talk about Crossroads of America and everything comes together. They started this 18-month project of we're going to do all this. But to complicate that, and they've got everything that's going around Indianapolis, right? All the truck drivers have got to go around this or that. They decide, you know what? Now's the time we open up a project on the northeast
east
side.
side, yep.
Don't forget about
which
the one on the
is-
south side with 69 finishing up.
Well, that's coming up into 465.
Well, they got to take
but-
all those bridges down too.
But my point of it is, let's finish the one we're at.
Yeah.
Let's put all hands on deck and finish the one we're there,
Yeah.
and then let's start the next. But you know, it 'tis the season, and we continue to complain. In Indianapolis and Indiana, in the whole, is the worst roads in America, in my opinion. And I can tell you this: that you continue to open up projects, and we bitch, moan, and complain about them, and that's one thing. But you get over it. You're like, you know what? Yeah, these roads need to be fixed. This needs to be done. I think Indiana's at the point where we know there's going to be construction because we're just piss poor at what we do. Just start one project and finish it. Put all hands on deck. Get it done as fast as you can. And
It
then
takes
start the next.
forever, I know.
Different contractors as well.
Yeah, they're outsourcing everything.
Yeah, everything.
I think we talked about probably on show 12. I'm just going to throw it out there. I talked about that it was literally 2 penny difference every foot, which is a lot of feet, by the way. If you add it up, I get you're talking about millions of dollars, but the difference in what you can make the concrete at to keep the potholes down, where you don't have to go back and repave them and whatnot. So it's frustrating that now you've already diverted the traffic then you're going to start a project where you've diverted traffic.
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
Why are we doing that?
I know.
And the original infrastructure was put in place wasn't to put in to sustain what we do on a daily basis, all these trucks and all that. And so, it seems like a lot of times they make a new project and it's just to kind of get by. And then a few years later, they're going to do it again.
Yeah.
Look at, with the Northeast side being the perfect example, what they're going to do through there.
Well, I was going to even say even downtown where they've got it at, they did this about 7 years ago. 7 years ago.
About-ish, yeah.
They repaved it all. They shut it down for almost a year.
Longer than that, but
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's longer than
they
that, but-
redid everything. And literally the next year, there's chunks out of the highway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Yeah. And if you know about these contracts, they get paid to get them done early. Right. So there's incentives to hurry the job up. And then there's no inspection after. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. Inspect what you expect. Right?
it should be inspecting
simple.
as they go.
Right. Correct. Mm-hmm. All they're inspecting is that, it's this wide. They're measuring that. It's this wide. It's that big. Yeah, you're right. We got the lanes. We're done. Not the quality of the concrete. And there's a problem.
Yep, man.
So, Jeremy, the most important question I have for you today is how you been? Been doing good?
Good, yeah. Happy-go-lucky.
All right.
Couldn't ask for more, except for maybe 70-degree weather. But
In early April, definitely. Bet you've been doing good and work's been staying busy and all that.
yeah, we're always busy. That doesn't change. I have nothing to complain about. Monster Jam's in town.
Oh, nice. Have you seen any good hockey games this season? Or
Yeah, around here is rather expensive, but I've watched a lot on TV.
What's your team?
Chicago Blackhawks.
The Hawks.
Good for you.
I think the last time we had you in, don't you go to Illinois to see like a minor league?
I'll go out to Danville. They're cheaper. $1 beer night on Fridays.
Danville in Illinois?
Yeah.
Illinois.
Got to pronounce the S. Comparative to the Indianapolis team, it's so much cheaper just to drive another half hour. The cheapest ticket in Indy is $28.
So what level is the Danville? Is that like
It's $10 anywhere you want to sit.
Yeah, but what level of hockey is it? The lowest level?
Is it like a single A compared to baseball, right? Single A,
It's
double A,
a
triple
single A
A.
low.
Oh,
Okay, so
They're playing because they love the sport, not to make money.
yeah, but Indy Fuel is the next step, right? The
And
next
they're-
step is NHL.
Yeah.
So you're going to pay more money.
Well, no.
There's better hockey.
There's still another level between Indy and the NHL.
There is.
AHL, yeah. Like our affiliates for Indy is in Rockford. Then it's
Rockford,
Chicago.
Illinois.
Illinois. You ever been there?
I've been to
Rockford?
Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
isn't that the Quad City area?
Rockford's
No,
no,
it's not.
Speedwagon.
No.
Oh, look at this.
Fly.
Yeah, there's not much in Rockford, if you ask me. I've been to the
And
airport.
Cheap Trick.
Not that we don't
No
continue
kidding.
to date ourselves on this show, but that's fine. That's all
Who's
good.
REO Speedwagon?
I want you to want me.
You got to be from Illinois to know who
Yeah.
that is.
They'll be at the next carb day in Indy, I guarantee it.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, they're going to be in Noblesville, I think. I'm going to see them.
They're going to Rudolph.
Yeah, they're going to
Is that an afternoon show? Before dinner?
It's a breakfast show. God dang, Jeremy.
Jeremy's playing this game today.
You meet up after the Denny's breakfast. Is that what we did?
Yeah.
Moves over my hammy.
Jeez.
They help the old people with their hearing.
Did they pass the Geritol out on the way in or on the way out?
For them, maybe, yeah.
Rub a little icy hot on.
You guys can see our faces right now.
Sure,
Everyone's
I'm
just
glad
like,
I-
where do we go next after this conversation?
Yeah.
Anywhere you want to. I'm ready.
Tony's like, why did we bring Jeremy in today?
This is the last show, right?
This is. You're listening to the Ship's Gonna Happen show, and we've got
Ship has sank.
Hall of Famer Jeremy, and yes, and the ship is sinking
The ship is sick.
slower than the Titanic.
Oh man, that's
was
good
thinking.
stuff.
Here we go.
Hey, when you show with the hat that says "Caution, Budweiser powered."
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just talking about the hat. You're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. That's good. That's from
Wild
Beard.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love his story right out the gate.
Oh man,
He was a good
Yeah,
show.
got hit by lightning.
Since you guys
And
talked
had
about
us.
great.
Has.
Had me.
He should have ran with it. Yeah.
Yes.
I got hit with lightning and just hit me one side of my face. Because my next question to him would have been, so if it's on the left side of your beard, did you get hit the right side of your head?
Right.
And he's like, no, I'm just joking with you guys. I'm like, oh shit. There you go.
But he had us.
He did. I was like, holy cow, man.
Call a fish line
What's the
hooker.
next question?
Yes.
Had you in the live well for a while.
That wraps up the show. And have a good day.
Yep. Exactly.
So you guys want to get into number one?
You're the button to
hey,
show, my
come on,
friend.
Tony.
Let's get into number
Hey,
one.
real quick before we go there, I just want to say it's been a few weeks. We're kind of more excited. Tony B's back. He's all relaxed on vacation. Didn't hear any crazy stories in the pre-show of all this. So thanks for being back, Tony B.
Thank you,
we
man.
literally thought about going live on Facebook.
We did.
You guys could have done it.
No, it wouldn't have been good.
We got too drunk too quick, so we decided not to do that.
We were drinking double Maker's Marks, and so
It was a lovely bill, and
Yeah.
but we talked about you in high spirits, and it's good to be back and kind of excited. And then Jeremy's like, heck yeah, I'll be there. So he's over here drinking his Budweiser. And yeah, that's right, full Budweiser diesel, and it's just good to be back. And I'm just glad to see you guys. Like seriously,
Good to see you too, brother.
Don't want to we get into the topics, but that's kind of why we're a little bit more excited.
Yeah.
It's been a few weeks, and there's a lot of things that have changed in the last couple of weeks just in the
has been.
industry.
lot
So
to talk about.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we go. Let's get into number one.
Are we getting on the elevator?
News on the 8s, weather on the 12s.
Prices are going up. We
And
talked.
behind door number one.
Boom. Hey, that is some door number one music.
again, there you
Door
go.
number one.
He loves it. He loves a new soundboard,
it's
don't he?
your number one.
All right, here we go.
Your
Number one. All right, prices are going up like mad. Jeremy mentioned earlier that he hasn't seen it because their company's doing some smart things with gas and doing alternate things, right? But hey, fuel prices, first thing, 2020, the average price was $2.10, right? 2021, $2.86. 2022, national average, $4.12. That's like $2 a gallon, yo.
Let me chime in here, and no offense to your stats, and I always compare everything to 2018. That's what I think you need to go back to. 2020 is not fair because everyone's shut down.
That's
remember,
true, yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
they were paying you to put barrels of freaking oil in your house, right? It was negative $37 for. Now I will say this week, the barrel of oil is lower than $100. It's $98 some change.
Yeah.
So you've got that factor. I get gas is more than tripled than at one point. I always, and this starts when I was 16 years old, and back when I saw gas at 95 cents a gallon. And we won't bring up your age. I'm sure you guys saw it at 48 cents a gallon. But my whole point of this is that I was the jerk that literally said you got to have gas to go where you're going. Why would they not charge $5 a gallon? Right. Sure. And so I called a buddy of mine who owns a landscaping business. And I said, hey, man, do you get discounts on mulch, or can you buy it in bulk? How do you do this? Blah blah blah. And I said I really want it in bags. That way I can have the kids lumping around the yard, just set them down. Then my fat ass is only got to move it once, not twice. And he goes, well, I'll get my first bag delivered. Now this was a couple weeks ago, right before we got done. And he said, my first load's delivered on Monday. I called him on a Thursday. I said, okay. I said, what's that cost? He goes, I don't know. I said, what do you mean you don't know? You're a business owner. You got to know what that mulch costs,
right,
before you lay it. So you make money. And he said, it doesn't matter, Tim. And I said, what do you mean it doesn't matter? You're a business owner. He goes, the cost is the cost. For me to be in business, I got to have the mulch. It doesn't matter if it's $20 a yard or if it's $120 a yard. I got to have the mulch. Just like my truck, I got to have diesel.
Right.
It doesn't matter if the diesel price is $2 or $120. I got to have the diesel to get to my jobs and pull my trailer. I said, I know, but you're pricing out jobs. He goes, yeah, but I've got contracts to where they allow me to say, okay, this is the cost. It's a very interesting perspective because we all pay attention to, first thing you see on inflation is going to be gas prices. You're going to see them go up. But it's an interesting perspective from a business owner, a small business owner, to say it does not matter. Cost of business is what it is. I got to have these items to do my job, to be in business.
right.
He goes, when it arrives, I sign off. and they send me an invoice, I pay the invoice. It's in a conversation. He doesn't care because at the end of the day, he's got to have that to be in business. And he goes, I already know that it's going to be there. I've already told my customers it's coming with the increase. Where that is, he goes, I haven't figured it out. I don't know what the happy medium is yet because I don't outprice myself, but I gotta have the material to do the job. And I just thought it was very interesting perspective when, as Jeremy says, he's driving down the highway and he sees the difference in the gas prices. You and I do the Same. I'm sure David B does the same. We see all this stuff. The dollar doesn't go as far as it did. That's for sure. We know that. We buy a lot into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We buy a lot into that gas price, and it sucks that it's there. You guys can't see me, but my shirt probably would tell you different items. But I'm just giving a different perspective here.
Right.
It is the cost. You're gonna pay it.
Yeah, no matter what.
It doesn't matter because you got to get to work.
Well, when it comes to mulching, you got to remember mulch comes from a wood source, so you got to pay for the mulching machine. Got to pay for the equipment to move the mulch, to move the wood source. Gas prices are good. Fuel prices are all going to be added into that on top of that.
Correct.
So it's starting ground zero and work your way up.
Yeah.
My only thing I'd say for him is to find a happy medium. Don't overprice it, but tell your customers this is where it's going to be at, a smidge higher, and if it's a little bit lower, throw a discount or something in there.
Well, and that's
who doesn't like a discount?
Well,
That's unexpected. Right. You're going to make them happy.
we're not talking about lot lizards here. We're talking about mulch.
They don't take coupons.
Right. They'll wait for you though as you're leaving.
They will. Hey.
I'm with you. The gas prices are insane, and it shows you. And believe it or not, so like what you stated, it was $2.20, and now it's $4.25 or whatever it is that you just said. In 2 years, it's more than doubled.
Yeah,
my salary hasn't doubled.
Right, I know.
How do we fix that?
Well, I mean, and back to the thing is, what I was going to say here too is like they say the inflation's 7%, right? I don't even know if that's accurate because because you have the fuel going up $2, right? Beef and veal, 16% increase. Pork, 14%. Poultry, 12.5%. Fish and seafood, 10.4%. Eggs, 11.4%. Dairy, 5.2%. Fats and oils, 11.7. Fresh fruits, 10.6. Vegetables, 4.3. Processed fruits and vegetables, 0.76. Sugars and sweets, 7%. Cereals and bakery goods, 7.8%, right? So, I mean, it's like...
That whole list tells me to support your local farmers.
There you go. Yeah,
that's a good point.
That's what we need to do, right?
Well, what they say...
Because they're getting it in the hind end as well, but... If you support them, I mean, they're going to be there for you. Their prices, it's going to be fresher. It's going to taste better. Mm-hmm. They're there. They're going to be there.
But if you hear about support your local farmers, I heard a stat that 3 companies own 80%.
We covered that. We covered that.
So,
I think it's 5.
Yeah.
It's 5.
It's 5 companies control the entire meat market.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It is.
That's insane.
Yep.
It is.
How? Why? Where's the support?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a billion co-ops. Then they all trickle to just 5? Why do we allow that?
You got Bill Gates buying up all the farmland too,
Well,
right?
that's not to say they don't. There's 5 big entities, whatever you want. Somebody say the thing.
He's just a trucker.
Public school system at its finest.
Perfect. They're going to have smaller companies throughout them. I mean, but I just, like I said, straight to the farm, to the house, in my opinion, and always, and not just in this market, but always been.
Maybe that's where it's headed, man.
Like,
back to local.
when I was younger, my dad's wife's family. Shush. They would slaughter their own cows. At one time a year, we'd slaughter 3 cows ourselves.
No, really?
And that would last at least a year at the minimum.
Yeah.
I love your language. You just blunt as could be slaughter.
Yeah,
he's just like, we're going to slaughter cows.
It teaches you a lot.
We're going to slaughter
All these people don't buy meat from the store and this and that. But, okay. First of all, it's a learning process. You can learn a lot from doing it yourself.
Yeah.
It's hands on. Until you almost get your arm cut off with a bandsaw trying to cut some bones.
When they're slaughtering the cow.
Slaughter. I process Captain Slaughter, Sergeant Slaughter if you're a wrestling fan.
So this year I processed my own deer.
Okay.
I'm a big deer hunter.
You're still doing it, aren't you?
And it was interesting. It was different, right? I mean, I'm sitting in a neighborhood,
What are you doing
in a garage.
in the house?
I did it in the garage.
Okay.
I hung it up
In
on
the garage. Put it in the backyard on the tree, son.
Well, the first couple we
Put
did
it in the
over
front
at the
yard, let your neighbors
in-laws,
know.
we went into the pole barn.
The HOA will be
We
fine with
literally
that.
dropped the bodies. We dropped the bodies off over the bridge, like you see in ID movies or shows or whatever.
Yeah.
We took them down to the bridge and dropped them off in Sugar Creek.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. I'm
Why
like,
not?
the coyotes are going to eat good tonight, and it's interesting. You learn a lot. I know I've wasted a lot of meat, which I don't like to do. I like all the meat I can get, and not sexually, but but yeah. And
What are you charging?
So the last one we did in my garage. I'm like, well, I'll just hang it up on the garage door, basically, right? They're bolted in, and we did it outside the garage, and I kind of taught a buddy that I only had done 2 deer before that. With another buddy, then another buddy come over and kind of teach you and save a lot of money, but you lose a lot of meat. If now next year or this year, I'm going to go do it a little different. But you're right when it comes to slaughtering or processing. It is. It's you're earning that.
How long does it take you to do one?
An hour.
An hour.
Yeah, maybe a little more. It depends
How
on
long
how
does
much
it last? The meat. How long?
I bought a vacuum. Well, I got a vacuum sealer, but I got a grinder and everything else, and I mean, so the full process is probably 4 or 5 hours. There's a lot of work into it, but now every time I have deer steaks or I make jerky, like I literally have done that myself. From
have
the
jerky
field
and bring it
all
in?
in. I have not. I got to make jerky next week for my golf trip coming up, but I'll get you some jerky. And everyone says it's the best. I don't believe it, but
Does that go with your guac, right?
Oh my God, that's going to be the next contest at the Green Jerky.
Can we do a chili kickoff or something?
The guac was also brought up in pre-show for everybody listening. So
well, I just asked, I got some at the house I just made, but you're right. I mean, the process. I think in 10 years from now, we're going to lose 90% of our farmers are all going to.
Yeah.
The kids don't want to do it. The kids are like, you know what? I'm sitting on $5 million worth of property. I'm going to sell the property, and I got to do nothing. Now you've got some old school farmers, and the kids grow up through
Spit it out, Junior.
FFA.
What do we have here? We have a convention here for the kids.
Future Farmers of
Future
America.
Farmers of America.
There you
FFA,
go.
which is based
Future
out of
Farmers of
Indianapolis,
America.
Indiana.
The headquarters is here, correct? And
Northwest side.
Yeah, watch them downtown. You might hit one.
I just think I'm afraid that we're going to lose that in America. I am.
I think we are headed that way.
It's crazy to see.
Disagree.
You think so?
Bill Gates is
You ever
gonna-
been out to the Midwest outside of Indianapolis? Go west.
I mean, gosh,
Go to Illinois.
You can drive right up 65 and see how
Kentucky,
boring it is.
Missouri, Kansas.
I understand.
There ain't nothing out there but farmland.
But at what point is there not enough farmland?
There's a while to go.
Man, I made him silent for once.
Jeremy.
There's time. Right. You're not wrong. Maybe give it a couple
never
hundred
wrong.
years, but there is farmland out there. It's the issue is, I mean, it's
There you
so
go.
expensive for the farmers to do anything. Same
Correct,
reason, the
yeah.
prices. They're not getting the yield that they deserve in prices.
So you want to pay more for an ear of corn? Is that what you're saying?
I'm all right with it.
You do. So the ear of corn used to be you get 5 for $2.
But if they're not making money,
just 2 for
If they're
two?
not making money, what happens? They don't have a choice but to sell the land. Do you want to keep the land or do you want to make it into a neighborhood? It's one or the other.
That's what I'm saying. It's the kids that
It's
now
not
have
just the kids.
The kids have the land. And they just want to sell for the quick buck.
That's understandable. Well, it's either make the quick buck or they're going to lose it to the bank because they can't afford to pay it. Because what the yield is of how much it costs to farm now, fertilizers.
Fertilizer is more than double, by the way. To your fuel price.
Fuel prices.
It's double this year.
But how much has corn gone up? grains, your corn, your
Right here.
soybeans.
We just covered it.
It's not going up. They're not making money on it, but they still got to pay more money out to get all that stuff.
So
back.
who's a farmer that is undercutting everybody to say
It's not the
this?
farmer that's undercutting.
Why not? I'm not going to sell my corn to you unless you pay me.
It's a commodity.
So
it's a commodity.
if you have grains full of corn, what good is that doing with you? You can't sell to nobody.
But my point is, you
You're
can't
either
sell
gonna
it because
sell it
the
at
point
a-
is too high. You got to have that. You're selling it at if you sell it at $1 a pound, let's say, okay, you're selling $1 a pound.
Know your terms, your bushel.
Oh my gosh, you can't fix this. You can't make this up. We're on live TV right now. All right, so if you sell it for $1 a pound, and your next guy sells it for 90 cents a pound, you're going to buy from the 90 cents guy. And until
Okay.
he runs out, then you're going to have to pay the $1, right?
No.
And then that 90 cents guy's
You just don't have corn.
You sell the land.
Exactly. And now you have houses instead of land.
But the guy that sold the land doesn't care about the houses. He cares about that $1. And,
So the
and
son's a prick. What do you want me to say?
when you see a $5 million
At some
30
point,
years
you got to
old,
make sure
you're gonna
you
take the
are
$5
taking
million.
care of the farmers as well.
Don't disagree with any of what you're saying.
Well, I understand that. I'm just saying that
The kids don't want to dick
There
with
goes
it
your
when they can
centipede ready to
get
take you out.
millions of dollars right now.
I understand that. I personal thing going on now in the
Quit
family.
being Dale Earnhardt Sr. and be Dale Earnhardt Jr. All right?
Who?
Dale Earnhardt
man.
Jr. Who?
You're listening to the Jeremy and Tim show.
It's just going to
Is
happen.
this a farming and NASCAR broadcast here? Or?
It's
And
a
we grew up in a
transportainment.
pretty good diverse
That's why I need to
culture is what
record
we
in
did.
there.
What's that?
do you-
Listening to the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast.
There he is.
Yeah.
Lightning
So,
bolt.
we good with that? Number one, we're good? We're going with number
No,
Yeah, I'm just saying
it's
it's
on your
no,
list with
yeah,
the
let's-
Fuel
So-
cost comes back to bite everybody in the ass.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
It's a direct reflection
Except for
of
the people
where
on top.
the economy is going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
inflation.
We've had.
Well,
It's the first thing you
majority.
see.
How many people actually see that every day that are outside of our industry, outside of the farming industry? Just your normal everyday citizen does not see what it takes to fuel up your tractors, fuel up farm equipment, fuel up this. They just see higher prices and are outrageous. And that's it. Neither.
Right, but then they see it at the end of the day by going and purchasing said
Mm-hmm.
item, and so the fuel is the first thing you see on inflation,
That's why a steak at Walmart is $30.
and there's a reason why there's price increases. And I will tell you guys this personally, inside the industry, I know we talked about it on many shows. David B has said his customers that they do business with, he gave at least 6 price increases last year. Do you know what the industry did? The industry only gave 1 price increase last year. Well, you call it 2. 1 early, they were always absent, 1 late.
Yeah.
And they haven't had it yet. So the the truckers of the world have not done anything with the price, realistically. So don't blame how you get your crap to your door because we have not given price increases. We haven't.
Or for the independent guys, it almost comes to the point where you have to plan your route to what state you go to because some are cheaper than others. Kentucky's cheaper than Indiana. So I'm going to fuel up in Kentucky and not Indiana.
Right.
I want to cross that state to get my fuel to move to New York or wherever.
If you want to go to Illinois, it's going to be more than Indiana, more than Kentucky. It's almost strategic at this moment.
It's nuts, man.
So they're picking and choosing, basically.
We've taken 2 price increases already this year. The last one was just April 1st, and I have had an LTL carrier I've had 2 of them take rate increases this year already. So
2 of them, but you use 10 of those.
saying.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know. I'm
right. But
just saying.
I guess my point of it is, though, realistically, that those increases you can keep in your customers. I guess my point to the truckers are we have not given the increase. It's not coming from the trucking industry
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
But what's fuel now? 44%.
Oh, my God.
It's not our doing. It's
Well, truckloads are like up to 90.
what you said.
92, yeah.
It's going on to the customer. What you said in previous shows. It's all being pushed on the customer.
Right.
It has nothing to do with us. We're just trying to stay above water ourselves.
There we go.
Yeah. So, and we talked about it often, is that this industry is completely different. So, like the staffing industry, right, which my baby mama is involved in, their margins are 30 to 50% on their margins. The trucking industry, if you're making 5 cents on the dollar, which is 5% for you folks out there, if you're making 5 cents on the dollar, you're killing it. You're killing it in the LTL market. You're making 5.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the truckload market, 15, 20, 25%. But realistically, and that fuel has nothing to do, the fuel surcharge has nothing to do with the profit increase. It is, that's already our cost. I mean, so to your guys' point of there's a lot of money in trucking, but there's not a lot of margin in trucking. If that makes sense.
A lot of revenue spent, yeah, but not a lot of profit and
Correct.
margin.
Yeah, it's pennies on the dollar, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
It's put companies out of business,
Well,
right?
and then as an independent, that's horrible for you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's
right.
It's the
for
worst
a
for
mega
them.
carrier. They can survive that. They can wait for the times to change. For an true independent owner operator, I mean, he's nickel and diming everything, hoping he doesn't blow a tire.
Yep.
I think it
Because
brings
you
us
blow a
right into
tire, there
topic
goes
two.
all his income he just made for that run for the month. I mean, it's $400-500 a tire if you got super single. They're $1,200.
So hold that thought. I think it brings us right into topic two, which is the video.
Well, we were going to go to the Walmart first,
Yeah,
right?
whichever you guys
I
want
like
to do.
Walmart. Let's do Walmart.
Let's
Yeah,
do
all right.
the Walmart.
I was there the other day.
All right, here we go.
Not the one that burnt down, right?
David B. Hit
Now
us.
I'm at church on a Sunday morning singing whatever song. That's good music. So anyway, topic 2 today is we're going to touch on Walmart driver pay. I mean, we've kind of this is episode 59. We've talked about this before in some other episodes, but there was a story that came out this week that the average new pay for drivers at Walmart is in between $95,000 and $110,000 a year for new Walmart drivers.
Look at Jimmy's eyes right now. He's lighting up like I'm moving.
Walmart's providing a 12-week course for new drivers to train them. They're planning on training 800 new drivers this year. They hired 4,500 drivers last year. Walmart currently employs 12,000 drivers. And so, that's kind of where we're at with Walmart. I mean, they're kind of put that out there that they're going to up to $110,000 for new Walmart drivers. So it makes you wonder what other people are going to do as far as companies to kind of match that or keep up with that, if that's something even other carriers are going to do. Over the years, I've dealt with a lot of Walmart drivers, and they're the cream of the crop, or at least they think they are, that their shit doesn't stink. I mean, none of them ever do anything. I mean, all they do is kind of drop and hook for the most part or whatever. So, I mean, but it's kind of a nice gig to have, being a Walmart driver, it looks like. So,
Wow.
So you say up to 110. You said
for
low,
new drivers.
right. So are the current drivers making more than 110? I would hope.
I would assume. I didn't really research it
I bet
much
they
further
are.
than that. I'm assuming so,
No.
but
Go ahead. Speak. You got industry knowledge. Go ahead.
I say it's a ploy.
Get up in here.
I'll need to know. I'd like to see the numbers myself, but every company is going to go out there and say, you can make $95,000 a year. You can make this. You can make that. And when you get there, you got to work 70 hours a week. You got to run your ass off. Don't even think about home time.
Yeah.
Family? No, we don't worry about that. We're your family now. Let's
but is a Walmart driver just paid salary, or are they paid by the mile? I guess I should have researched the story a little bit more, but
I
Well,
can't.
let's look at
Well,
it.
see, that's
Go
the thing.
ahead.
I mean,
Keep talking about it. I'll get it up here.
I don't know for you, Walmart wise. I mean, my company, we're mileage and hourly, just depending on your run.
Right.
But I mean, on my run, which is hourly, I see the same Walmart guys every day. I mean, we'll sit there and wave at each other because we know each other by truck number, face.
after you wave to the lot lizards, and then you wave.
That's after work.
There we go.
We don't want to get fired.
Right.
We
But-
don't get what?
Fired.
That's what he said.
Firewood, tars,
Yes.
So I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just
You're skeptical.
thank you.
Because
Big words.
I'm be honest with you. I mean, the one
That's a big dollar amount.
I mean, to
start.
six figures.
To start.
you wouldn't transfer for 6 figures. I mean, come on.
Not me. No.
I would I'd quit my job today.
Mine's already past that
Yeah.
point.
All right,
so
well, there
This
you
is
go.
Tim's last show on the Ship's Gonna Happen
Tim is going to
podcast.
start driving for Walmart next
So
week.
110.
but they are a
grand.
good company, and I will
To start.
put that out there for them. They are a good company.
Yeah.
They got nice equipment. It's clean.
They're safe.
It runs. They're set at 65 mile an hour, so they're not setting land records, but it's a good safe speed. They don't do anything stupid. I mean, overall, I'd say they're one of my favorite companies. If I see one of their trucks on the road, I feel comfortable being next to them or around them.
So
This is their salary, Dave.
I
That's what I
love
bet.
that you say that you brought up. I feel safe next to that truck that I'm going to pass. It's interesting. I've never thought about that,
Yeah.
right? So you see truck, and you're like, why does this guy want to get over?
Well, they're not going to cut anybody off. They're not going to do anything stupid.
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought about that though.
Yeah,
because when I was driving
recently,
recently, I thought, man, I saw a lot of UPS tractors and trailers. You know, those guys are safe, and they've got their. What I like about UPS trailers is if it's raining out, they have those mud flaps, those little wiry things that cover
Splash guards.
Splash guards, yeah. I mean,
No,
I'm
you're
like,
talking about the black
They're over
fiber.
the- Yeah,
fiber,
I mean,
almost
Over the
like-
wheel wells.
yeah, a lot of the trucks don't have that, and it sprays up on you, and you can't see real
I'm not
well.
even sure they work.
Well, man, I've been behind some of them in
Do they?
rain, and
I'm usually in
it seemed
front
to
of them. I don't
beat
know.
the rain down. So anyway,
Why can't more trucking companies be like Walmart and Walmart Transportation?
I think it's where
Where you
it's
have
gonna
their
go. Well, it's-
salary and drivers.
I think that's where it's gonna
versus,
go.
you know,
Well, I mean, it depends what you get paid mileage. I mean, for my company, if you make mileage, you're making what the hourly guys do time and a half.
What that? Say that again.
For my run, obviously I'm hourly. If it's a mileage run, they make what I do plus another half.
Okay.
And even if they're hooking or they're stuck in traffic, they're dropping, they're making time and a half. Just my company. I'm not saying
Gotcha.
everybody.
Right, right.
So they're never making what I do. They're always making more than I do.
So why don't you do what they do?
Because I don't have the whiskers because they won't retire
Gotcha.
for that reason. Our number one driver started in 63.
That's 1963.
63.
Let's not bring up the years
wasn't
that these
even
guys
born
were
yet.
teenagers. All right,
That wasn't born yet.
That was we have built 2 big terminals since he started.
But you're paying him.
He does whatever he wants. If he doesn't,
He's currently 61 years old. So if he was he born in 63 or started
No, he
in
started in
He's gotta be
63.
like
Son of a bitch,
freaking
so he's
78.
he's getting his 401. He's getting his
Government cheese.
yep.
Was that all? You can do that?
Yeah, at the
yeah,
age
while
of 71 and a half, you have to
and
start
still
getting your
work?
401.
Yep.
71 and a half
Union
is
allows
where
that?
it's at. Yeah.
The government pays you at that point your Social Security, regardless if you're working or not.
And he's getting mileage pay. He takes vacations when he wants. He's got 7 weeks to take whenever he wants to. Because who's going to tell him anything?
Right.
If he wants to call
gonna
in,
tell me?
I mean, you can't. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
But I mean,
sure,
he
he's fucking
does
rich.
whatever
He's
he
happy.
wants. I would
he's-
say rich. He's been through a few divorces.
Oh man, I don't
But
know.
he's probably making $500,000 a year with all that extra.
Probably is.
I
man.
wouldn't be surprised.
With all the draw.
But he's not
the
working
happiest
for
driver in the
retirement.
world.
He's working to.
Wants to work.
No, well, when he's done,
his ex-wives.
his life expectancy is going to be close. I imagine.
Right. Exactly.
Unfortunately,
We had a guy that finally retired about 2 years ago, and literally probably 10 years ago in the pre-shifts, we literally just say, you know what, just retire. We're done. Like, he was just a jerk, and there's nothing you could do. And I remember him and his old lady pulled up. They came up to get his check. So our company went to electronic checks years ago, and he wanted it cost him money to get the old hard check.
Yeah. Her copy.
And so they mail him a check once a week, and then come in. He brought his wife up. He's on vacation. This lady's hands didn't have a diamond missing from each finger, but gold around her neck. I mean, just old school, right?
it's a walking pawn shop.
There
we go.
She was a walking pawn shop.
There we go.
I'm gonna borrow that.
That's
by the
good
way,
one.
I like
good.
that. So pulls up, just walking pawn shop, right? And you just come in and get his stuff. And he was a great worker. I mean, literally, I had something, and I'll just drop his first name. His first name was Lee. I would call him on the radio in a shift or whatever. I'm like, dude, I got to have this in. Lee, get this in the door. I got to have this. I got you, Tim. And he'd do it. It wasn't like he was a bad worker.
Yeah.
He was 78 years old. Wow. I'm not making this up. And sure enough, and I hate to say this, he retired, and within 2 years, he passed away. and which is crazy to think about, but they live to work, right? You work to live.
We see a lot
of
of
to work.
There's a lot of our drivers. That's what happened. I don't know if it's because of the pension and every year more they work, the more they get, or they don't want to be at home with their wife. I don't know.
Well, you just sit around. If
But
you retire,
it's just
He worked 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's
80.
no bull. 80 hours a week. 80 hours a week.
A week?
A week.
That takes me at least 2.5.
He would work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, never missed. And so we have a cap at where I work. At
He got
60
bored is
hours.
what he got.
We got a cap at 60, but sometimes you turn your eye for guys that want to continue to work because you're like, I can't keep track of their hours. It's their job, and we need the bodies. Right?
That's how you get audited by the state police.
And so, but no, he only worked in the yard.
Still,
He was just a hostler.
for his hours.
And he would come in 4 hours
Oh,
early.
if he never left the yard, then that's a different story. Yes.
4 hours early, and he would work the dock.
Dang.
At 75 years old, he'd get on a tow motor.
Iron Horse.
He was unbelievable.
If he's not leaving property, he
it
can
was
work
like,
all
well,
he
if he
wants.
would just retire, I could move up. I'm like, oh, like, come on, man. This dude is here 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. This is max you could work every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Wow.
Never miss. And I guarantee you, just out of our company, he's probably pulling down 125 grand.
Dang.
Then you had his Social Security, you had his whatever pension, because the Teamsters start paying you out and all that.
Right.
I bet he made $250,000 a year.
Damn, man.
Yeah. And his wife was just decked out, just pawn shop.
Pawn shop.
Just
Pawn shop mama.
I like
Put that on your next T-shirt, by the way.
I love that. I love it.
Hey, that's a good name for a podcast too. The Walking Pawn Shop.
There you go. That is.
I'm thinking. But,
So the $110,000. Back to your point. I'm sorry.
so,
Let's get back to
no,
our
all good. The drivers for the company I work for, they make over 100 or whatever,
Wow.
but that's mileage in their hourly, like Jeremy's saying. But when I see that story, when I read about it, I'm just like, why can't more trucking companies be like kind of Walmart transportation instead of push, getting your drivers there? Just salary them, treat them good, train them right, but I know that might be a fantasy world, but it just seems doable in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
The training part's hard because the turnaround rate, whenever we get to that
Yeah.
video, I don't want to step on any toes, but it's turnover rate anymore is really high.
yeah.
I mean,
that's what
unless you
everybody
have a
says.
company that wants to.
We'll get into that in the next
Yeah.
topic too, but it's about 300% just helping Jeremy out here.
Yeah.
So
That's the downside.
That's insane.
So how well can you train somebody? Like my company, we haven't necessarily added any more driver supervisors to.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
You done?
Is that legal still to do that or not?
Yes.
Sneeze?
Oh my God.
I got one more coming. It's all because I'm Paris. Just so you guys know.
they always come in twos.
We have the same amount of driver supervisors as we had 5 years ago, but we have 250 more drivers today than we had 5 years ago.
You do what? What's that stat?
When I started, I come in at 316. I'm currently at 244.
$3.16.
No, I am seniority number
316. Checker
I'm
number.
now
Checker number.
244. I'm now 244 of 520, but we still have the same amount of driver supervisors as when I was 316 at the bottom, as now that we're at 520. So training is kind of a loose term, if you will.
Yeah.
So it's more of a spot check. You checking your mirrors, that's good. Let's check you off the list. Our new people are horrendous. They're awful.
Why are you judging somebody?
Because they're not trained
Because
right,
their
Jeremy?
safety is my safety.
Oh,
Jeremy, is it because they're
coin
not trained
that.
right?
Huh?
Are they not trained properly? Is that why you're
Well,
terrible, or they just don't give a shit?
Our trainers aren't drivers either, to be honest.
Okay.
Why are you
They're-
not a trainer?
Because they don't make what I do.
So you make more money not being a trainer,
Exactly.
but
our,
yet you're
our
struggling.
driver trainers come from the hub. They come from anywhere else throughout the company. They go to a driving school that promotes, after you're done with us, he give you as much knowledge as a 1,000,000-mile driver. So they're thinking, I can read this book, I got 1,000,000 miles worth of knowledge. And now I can go teach anybody they want because I know better than they do. When, in fact, they don't know what they're doing and now they're bringing in so many more people
Yeah.
and teaching them.
Bad ways.
Yeah. They don't know what it's like to drive in the snow, the ice, the downpour.
Because the trainers aren't out like you, so
Yeah.
they're not going to pay them what you make, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they do with a lot more BS than I do because they got paperwork and other stuff they have to do.
Yeah.
But so I wouldn't want their job in the first place, but their training is lackluster, if you ask me.
So the bottom line is you're not heading to Walmart.
I wouldn't. No, not for that.
But you don't think it would be a bad gig for somebody to do that, right?
No, I mean, if that's what they're boasting 110 to start, I mean, who would say no to that?
Right. That's pretty
Not
good.
me.
Man.
I'm
But-
interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You send me
gosh,
the article so that I
But
can apply.
where do you progress? I mean, even if he didn't progress from 110, that's still not horrible.
but you're a professional driver, so do you think that that's like to make that? What would you have? What would your work week be like? Would you be 60, 70 hours? Do you think, or you're not going to make that in 40-hour work week, right?
They don't
would
work
you?
for you. Truckers don't work for you.
all
No,
just-
I know. But
It all depends on what run you want to do. I mean, or what company. Like,
because they're going just Walmart DC to DC, right?
Well,
and
yes.
I think some
correct.
some might go to the stores, but
to
most of them
drop
are
trailers
DC
off
to
at the
DC.
stores.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, that's all company to company. I mean, mine, I don't do anything special. I work 50 hours a week, and I top that.
Well, you are
Easy.
special, though.
Don't you
You're a
forget it.
hammer. You're a hammer. He's a hammer.
I got a gold star sticker on my shirt right now.
So I mean, and every Walmart has docks.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going and doing liftgate deliveries, or you're
You know what to expect.
you're pulling a case of beer off a trailer and delivering it
you're
inside of a
not
bar.
dollying out.
Yeah.
Walmart
Wait a minute,
drivers
wait a
are
minute.
Basically, drop and hook.
Do they? I was going to say, do they have to unload their own trailers? I doubt it.
No,
I don't think
I
so.
think they just drop
No, they
and
got
hook.
forklifts in
These
the
hands
Walmart.
don't get dirty.
Because
We can tell.
the store would have a receiver in the warehouse to unload it, right?
Yeah, they just
just
throw back
drop
to
it.
their
Yeah.
loan, man. Yeah. For 100.
The
Jeez.
corporation I used to work for, Walmart was our biggest customer, and all they did was drop and hook with us. We had 7 drop Walmart trailers at our facility.
Wow.
And all they did was drop and hook. That was
Dang.
it. And you could tell those drivers never got dirty. And if they had to wait for 1 minute on something, they were like,
They don't wear a white shirt for no reason. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's a nice pressed white shirt or
It's
whatever.
not getting dirty, is my point.
I just
I
don't.
would say Mount Pleasant, Iowa, or Seymour, Indiana, or Grove City, Ohio, or Coldwater, Michigan, wherever they were from.
Seymour's
So-
got a big DC down there.
So without Jeremy in the studio, I would be questioning this, but he's sitting here literally as a professional driver telling us he's not leaving his current job for $110,000.
So he's making
That's
some
just
jack.
straight drop and hook.
Yeah.
To me, it's mind blowing, and I'm fascinated on. So obviously, money's not a driver. Okay?
That's true.
That's not true.
Well, maybe
That's a big driver.
Well,
but I also have
money.
But don't you just drop and hook, Jeremy?
Yes.
Do you-
Yeah, let me finish it real quick, guys. Real quick. So dropping hook at 6 figures is not enough to entertain, whether you're making more or less than that, to entertain that. And I think that Jeremy's point is, how many hours are they working?
Yeah, right.
Are they doing what Lee did, where they're working 80 hours a week? Are they doing a 40 hours? It's literally from DC to a couple of stores and they're back every day in 8 hours. Are they going from Seymour, Indiana to Houston, Texas, and they're gone for days? I don't know.
I'm fairly certain Walmart's X amount of days on, X amount of days off. I don't know that, but through my years of experience with Walmart drivers, I just remember all of them saying, "Oh, today's my last day. I'm off for 4 or 5 days," because they work like 7 off for however many.
So that would deter me and myself because I want a set schedule.
Sure,
I want the same days every days.
right.
So you think they're abusing these $110,000?
I didn't say they're abusing. No, it's all driver dependent. It's what you're comfortable with. Myself, I want my either Monday through Friday, Tuesday through Saturday. I want my set hours.
So you know.
My schedule's 50, 51 hours a week, and that's being lazy.
I was going to say, you could probably get it done in 30, but because of I know you.
Being union, I'd get paid for 40.
Oh, yeah.
And not to mention, I get my union
Gotta know
benefits protected. I mean, it goes towards my My union dues go towards my insurance, goes towards my retirement. It covers my kids' insurance.
Nice.
And that's $25 a week.
Speaking of your kids, real quick, side note, you're taking a little man to Monster Jam, right?
Yeah, he thinks my truck out there is a monster truck.
Oh, gosh.
He's
in
He's
love.
4.
Nice.
We got pit passes, so we're going to meet all the drivers and stand next to the trucks. And he's going to be disappointed when we get back into that damn truck. now realizing that's not a monster truck.
The Silverado is not what we call a monster truck.
My dad's a disappointment to me.
I tell you
We've
what.
been hyping this up for 2 months because he was having issues with going poop in the toilet. So I used this as
Motivation.
yeah. I mean, it's like night and day.
Oh, man.
He's been pooping in the toilet for 2
Congratulations.
months straight. I tell you, it's big.
Yeah.
Big.
So,
As soon as he learns to wipe his own butt, I'll be happy.
so last night was the first time our baby pooped in the bathtub. Oof. And Lynn's like, what? Like, you could see his
That'd
face.
be hard. It's hard.
So she holds him out, like hanging his butt off the back of the tub, like the little whatever we got him in. And he, big old, I was like, all right, well, that's, we can handle that. Get him out of the tub. There's more poop underneath him. And she's like, I'll take care of him. You figure that out. I'm like, all right, where's the hazmat suit?
The 2 little guys pooping, man. Good stuff, right?
Yeah. We start off pooping in diapers. We end up pooping in diapers.
That's
So-
right.
God,
It's
isn't that
a
sad?
full life circle, right? It is.
Isn't that sad? Hey, congratulations, little guys out there pooping.
Now he's excited. That's this afternoon, so I got to go pick him up when we're done.
So my dad used to, and you know my dad very well. I think he coached in baseball, if I remember
We
correctly.
played on the same team.
Yeah,
Sold out. Standing room only.
Sorry, the Speedwagon concert starts at the same time, so you chose the monster
Bring your own
truck.
Pampers.
Yeah, stand it up.
Depends. It'd be depends now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
If you go for the name brand stuff.
So there's where we're at with talking about kind of driver pay
Yeah, that's
or
good
whatever.
stuff,
I mean, just to
right?
me, Walmart seems like it's, and I know Jeremy
Pushing
can
the
refute
envelope,
this,
man.
but
Hey, it's
why
good
not?
stuff.
Why not? You
Pushing
know,
the
so-
envelope.
I'm interested.
David B,
I'm
thanks. We're
telling
heading
you.
to you for number 3. We'll give you your favorite music.
So why is it I get 2 topics this week? And
Well, my topic, you guys said no.
That's all. Yeah, we did. You did.
I did.
You were like, this is good enough or whatever. Yeah.
Let's go to my
wait.
topic. Let's
do it.
surprise
Let's do
him.
it.
Let's
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
Here, Timmy D, my bad.
Let's surprise him. Let's surprise him.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Let's
must
do
have
it.
misunderstood in that thing.
I think there's a few texts this week you misunderstood.
Okay, all right.
Go.
Timmy D.
Oh, it's my turn.
Hit
All right.
it up.
Amazon. I always talk about them.
Yep.
What just happened
Oh,
with
shit.
Amazon
Yeah,
this
I
week?
forgot to bring that up.
Unionized in Boston.
Oh, unionized.
Is that where it was? Boston? Or?
Yeah.
New York City.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
Amazon finally got through. We got an applause. over
Bring
it.
him.
Are you a Teamster?
I am a Teamster.
Through and through.
Local 135.
Yeah.
Boom,
Protect
shout
your
out.
employees.
That's because you drink Budweiser. But
They're also union. Protect your employees.
what do you mean protect? You can't protect your own self by your work ethic?
So
They get abused.
What do
Can't
you
go to the
mean?
bathroom. You got to work nonstop.
You got to work for your money? That's an issue?
You can't go to the bathroom. You can't take a 5-minute break.
What? Why do you?
Why
I'm
should I?
paying you.
Why can I not go to the bathroom?
Why can you not?
Do you want me to go to the bathroom in the corner? Can I get some health insurance?
Why can't you argue for your own health
Can I get
insurance?
some decent wages?
If you're a valued employee, if you're a valued employee,
valued.
yeah, they
Their
pay,
turnover rate can't be any better than anybody else's.
but they
It's
pay
probably the
good. They
worst.
pay good money.
Do they?
They pay $17 an hour to start inside of a controlled warehouse. Your dock employees,
But you're
probably make
also
about the
being
same.
abused at 17 hours. Work harder, work faster, do more.
you're listening to the.
You can't go to the bathroom. Don't even think about getting that Pop-Tart. Are you thirsty? I don't care. Stay
Why
on the
am I
belt
pay-
line. What
why
are you
am I-
doing, Timmy?
You're
no,
listening to the
no.
Jeremy and Tim show.
You got an idea? Don't think about it. You,
ready for
can't
this?
have it.
No, let me. Can I
Nope.
get a word?
No,
in?
you can't. I'm
you're a Teamster.
I'm supervisor.
That's my point.
I'm supervising an ununionized worker. You can't do anything you want to do. Don't even think about it.
Because you're on my
thinking.
time.
Stop
I'm paying
thinking.
you.
Stop
I'm
thinking.
paying you.
Thinking.
No, you're
I'm
not
paying
paying me. Amazon's paying me.
No. But Amazon's paying me to make sure you do your job and earn your paycheck.
So is you a slave driver now or what? I can't go to the bathroom?
A slave
Driver. Yeah, I said it. Why can't I
slave
go to the
driver?
bathroom? I just need to go to the bathroom. Can I get a drink of water? It's 90 degrees in here. Can we get a break?
That's what you think happens there?
Am I wrong?
You're acting like it's
Am I wrong?
1940.
Have you walked in an Amazon? Have you physically ever been in an Amazon?
I have, in a warehouse.
And it
yeah.
was, what time of year was it? Was it hot? Was it cold?
It's a controlled warehouse.
No. All those machines in there is not making it hotter than it needs to be.
Have you been on a dock in Cleveland in January?
I've been in a dock in Chicago and O'Hare.
Speaking of
There you
bathroom,
go.
David, clock out, please.
Yeah. They have those workers too. You got to clock out to go to the bathroom at some trucking companies if you're on the dock.
So at some trucking companies. So let me.
But my point is, you deserve a good wage, somebody to help you, health care of some sort. Because that $17 you're getting paid, it's not going towards insurance. So now you got to pay for your own insurance if you want it, unless you're on Obamacare still and they're taxing you and fine. Anyways, you got to pay for your own insurance. You got to do this, you got to do that.
So
While not going to the bathroom, not getting a lunch break, being told to work harder during peak seasons.
work more hours, but yeah.
Not more hours, more work harder.
Right.
They have shifts.
Allow me to speak.
Do I have to?
You don't. You point at me when it's my turn.
Go ahead.
Is it my turn?
You're wrong.
I'm going to say all this and then you can rebuttal. How about that?
Rebuts.
All right. So you're going to listen to the Ship's Gonna Happen show, by the way. And here we go. We got a professional truck driver, very strong on the topic I just brought up, which is fantastic. I'm going to tell you, I always play devil's advocate. Now,
I don't know. I like
for,
that.
for the full record, I work for a company that is union. Mm-hmm. And I love my union Teamsters, same local as you.
It's a strong union.
And I love everything about it, right? I've grown up since I was 18 years old with the same guys. Now half of them are gone or whatever, but I get the union part. So I'm going to speak to the company part. If you own a company, you want to get the most out of your workers for the lowest price you can possibly pay, right? Because you want to make, hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
You want to make your profit. Okay. So at one point when I worked for this company, I was told that the hourly wage, let's call it, I'm going to make easy numbers here because I'm not going to put out our salaries and all that, but $10 an hour. The real cost for the company was $30 an hour at the time. The real cost of $30 an hour, not $10 an hour, because of the healthcare. Right, healthcare is crazy.
Yeah.
So it was $30. It was basically you're making 3 times your wage, the pension, the work rules, and all that. So it was at $10 an hour that you're making 30, even though you're only getting $10 an hour on your paycheck.
Are you getting health care?
Yeah, it's all free, 100%.
Okay.
Everything's there. But what I'm saying is,
Well, Amazon's not getting that.
Hold on. The value of the buck was you're paying $10 an hour, and the real cost of the company was $30 an hour
per worker. Yep.
So every hour they worked was $30, even though they only saw $10 an hour on their paycheck. Okay, take home was $10 a paycheck, $10 an hour before Uncle Sam got involved, but it's $30 an hour is what the company valued it at because of the free health care for your whole family, everything. Love it. I think it's great. But I will tell you this, that when you sign up to work for a job, any job have you ever been to, you and I have been to, just only a couple, okay? We're fortunate enough, we've been with our companies for a long times. We started very young. The thing that we're missing is that when that employee says, yes, I'll take the job, and you say, I'm only going to pay you $20 an hour to work in this warehouse, and you got to do a minimum of this work for that pay, and you agree to that at the point of hiring, why, as a company owner, do I need to give you more money?
Do you expect the minimum or do you want the maximum?
I expect the maximum when you agree to the maximum.
$20 is today's wage is pretty nice.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
though.
when you have an owner who's making billions of dollars, why not spread the wealth?
Watch this. Ready for this? No, watch this. You ready?
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it because he started from ground zero.
The answer is if you don't want to work here and you think you can do the same thing, go open up your own. But until you do that and you want to work for the man, you're going to work for the man.
Company that's what they're doing currently. But if you can
That's my point. Go
if you
open
can
up
get
your own.
insurance, why not? Why not try to push what you can?
They give you insurance on day one now.
What type of insurance?
Amazon gives you you got to pay for it, just like every other.
So
American
now
union
you're
union.
not making $20 an hour
Why not?
because now that insurance is coming out.
Okay, but if you went to somewhere else,
Your initial pay says $20 an hour, but you're also getting
that's my
$200 a
point.
week.
But if you went somewhere else, you got to pay insurance too. So it's equal platform across the board.
Give or take.
But my whole point of it is, if you don't like it, go find other employment.
Not arguing that.
But when you go to try to find unemployment, so I guess my whole point of this is unions are great, they're strong, and there's a lot of reasons that argue for the worker.
There are
At the end of
cons.
the day, at the end of the day, what we do is we sacrifice the work. How can I say that? You sacrifice the work for the money, if that makes sense. So if the job is so bad and you must have a union to fight for all this, then you're not happy. Why haven't you applied somewhere else? Because no one else will take you for what you're making where you're currently at.
Well, look at for me example. I make premium pay.
Yep.
My insurance is phenomenal. Doesn't affect my pay. It helps my whole family. It goes
Yep.
towards my
Yep.
retirement. So my retirement's taken care of. My family's taken care of.
Yeah.
I'm still getting paid top dollar. Why can't everybody do that?
But here's my thing.
And my company's still making $10 billion a year after the rest of us.
What if the company told you, you know what, Jeremy, you're a professional truck driver, you got two choices. This is what I like to see the industry go to, by the way. You got two choices. We no longer pay for your health care. If you want it, you got it. You pay for it yourself. Or B, I'll keep you at this. If you want the health care, I'm going to lower your salary.
When you're union, they can't do that. It's called contract talk.
That's my point. So all I'm saying is it's industry changing because Amazon has always been non-union. That's why Amazon's, you get everything, they bargain everything. You get it so cheap. You get everything that's so hammered down. And Jeremy wants to leave the room because he's getting... He
clock out.
He clocked out. Yeah. He wants to go pee on the union time.
His piss bottle's full. He's got to use the bathroom.
So my whole point of this is that this is going to be game changing.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's a big deal.
Because it's not going to stop at the New York warehouse.
Right.
It's going to go.
It's spread to all big cities,
Are
probably.
we in a time and age right now where the union is needed more now than ever before, or is it something that's
There might be some angles for it, I think. Like,
Yeah,
right?
so
And
that's where I always said, I think our company should say, okay, now's your hire day. You got two options. Do you want to make $30 an hour, or do you want to make $15 an hour? Mm-hmm. And the difference between the two is we pay for your health care. You don't. So how do you attract those 25-year-olds? This is my whole point of this conversation.
Yeah, right. No.
Because 25, you're invincible. You never go to the doctor. You're going to do this. You could care less. And if union companies could take a 25-year-old and get them off their insurance type of retirement plan they don't think about,
Right.
and pay them more money on the dollar that's actually cheaper than the whole benefit package. Is that how you gain traction to get younger people?
Well, I think so. Because just real quick here, I
Pick
think
your poison, basically, is what they're saying.
Well, if you look at the non-union turnover versus the union turnover, I'm sure there's going to be a lot less turnover at the union provider,
1963.
right?
Keep that in mind.
Than the non-union. And maybe so there's some weird examples of that not being true, but overall, I would think it would hold water. That union probably has less turnover.
But the thing, right, I agree with that. And then at 25, so Jerry, what I just said is I would like for the union companies to offer, you still got to pay union dues in a conversation. You're going to still pay them to the union.
Every week.
But when I hire you in, you got two options. You have the option of I pay for your health care and pension, and I'm going to hire you in at $15 an hour, or I'm not going to pay your union or your health care and your insurance. You're going to be just like every other supervisor out there on the floor. And you're going to pay for all that yourself, your 401 and all that, all on your own. And I'm going to hire you in at $30 an hour.
You can't do that.
No, but I know you can't. What I'm saying is if a company went to that platform, is that how you could attract younger drivers? Because I would tell you 9 out of 10 people at 25 years old would say, I'll take the $30 on the hour versus the 15.
But okay, then
all day long.
You got Walmart here saying they are not union because that's why they can afford the good pay.
But that exactly. So, but is that good pay or does the benefits outweigh that? So my point of this whole conversation is how do you get the younger 25-year-old into the industry?
But you got to look at To me,
How do you
everything's
do
a
that? You
numbers thing.
can't do both.
Right.
110,000 is fine at a non-union. That's phenomenal. What are you paying to cover your family and insurance?
Right. So
That's what you're getting to.
So one of the top, and this is probably.
But you don't look at that at 25.
This is
That's how you get
probably
the younger guys in the.
This is probably for a different
industry.
show. I would really like to research how and why healthcare is tethered to an employer.
Yeah.
I mean,
because
so,
if
our cost
Right.
is $30 a week or whatever it is, $500 every 2 weeks, the cost to them is far greater than that.
absolutely.
Or whatever.
I mean,
How is it tied to your employer?
I can give you an
So, and
example
that's a
for like
different-
my insurance. Like I've had 2 kids. One has epilepsy, so he's had all those tests done, the things to his head,
I'm sorry to hear that. By
all
the
the
way,
medication.
God
he's-
bless the kid.
all the medications out of pocket. I mean, he was taking medicine every day, 2 years. Every month, I got a new medication, $5.
Right.
so
Every copay, $10 at
So
the most.
what do you? So you're a younger guy like myself.
This worked out for me.
I know. So at a 25-year-old, think about a
I come in at
25-year-old.
29.
I know, but all right, 25-year-old, whatever, 30, it doesn't matter. The younger. I'm not talking about the 55-year-old. How do we sell that in the industry that these benefits are so good to you? How do we sell that to the younger person to make them value what you just stated?
think it's a hard sell.
It is a hard
Exactly
sell. For my company, everybody knows that because we're been around for.
But how do you sell it? How do you
We've been
advertise
around
the
for
brand?
112 years. If you're a truck driver, don't know about my company and the benefits and the pros and cons.
Why have they come to your company? Your company's hiring.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
And
Why are they
we
not
can
making
hire
moves?
and that's what the issue I was talking about earlier. We'll hire anybody right now with the beating heart, but we don't have anybody to train. You can be the dumbest MFer out there. If your heart's beating, we'll hire you.
I think a lot
And
of
that's the
young,
downside. We used to be one of the safest companies out there on the road. We're not
You sound
anymore.
like Miss Saki right now. The question is, how do you sell that to make them value it?
I think some of those
At what
younger
it's
people
valued
don't
at.
think that way.
They don't.
And that's the thing. Well, yeah, I mean,
So do you?
when you're young and dumb, I mean,
So that's my point. Of the company should say you have 2 options.
Yeah.
You're going to join the union. That's not optionable, right? So the our local here is upside down as it is, just like everybody. So you get free money every month from this person that you're not going to give a pension to. That fixes that in the long run. And you give the younger employee the option of, do you want this or do you want more on the hour? And if you want more on the hour, we can pay more on the hour, but you're not going to get all this at the end of the day. That's the only fix, in my opinion, to get the union money right and to attract younger people. Yeah. And if you don't believe that, then my question, like I asked you, Jeremy, is what, seriously, let's say you make $50,000 a year, okay? Mm-hmm. Your healthcare and insurance and all your family and everything else and your pension and all that. So you say that's another $30,000 on top of your $50,000?
Easy.
As in, all right, so
well, in my family, yes, because of
right, well,
the medical
your case
stuff.
So let's say you value it at $50,000. So you say my salary is doubled every hour I punch in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But how do you sell that?
Yeah, I know.
If you're some
How
freight
do you-
companies put it on a billboard.
Let me ask you this. So you're union and you're strong union.
but I've
and I
also
get
been
that.
on a non-union
I know,
LTLs.
but
Right.
So I've been on both sides.
So would you be okay with someone that would join your company that is union, but then not take up your benefits and pension and putting into your union dues
Well, hold
that
on.
pays your pension?
in this
Would you be
current
interested
state
in
that
that?
we're in right now, you have a choice not to be in the union.
Where you're at?
Yeah. There are states that you don't have to be in the union.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a free to work state.
Is Indiana's that one of those states?
Yeah, we are.
So-
We are. But you
so
have a national
now-
contract.
Right to work, right?
Right to work.
But they
is
still
Indiana, it's your
expect to be
national contract.
protected by the union, even though they're not paying their union dues.
Like the
Which-
teachers. Teachers are the same way. Teachers are believe it or not, teachers don't have to pay they don't even have to pay union dues. They're part of the
really?
union regardless.
Wow.
I know that because I dated one for 10 years and she's like, I'm putting into the union dues, but I'm not part of the union. And that's fine. I guess how do you
I don't know. That's
She's
the
giving away
million-dollar
money at that
question,
point,
Tim.
wouldn't she?
huh?
She would keep paying the union dues, but she wasn't part of the union.
Correct.
So she was just giving away money.
Right.
I'd see why you got rid of her. That's like paying that girl down there at the truck stop.
He knows it very well.
That's
This
paying
thing's
the
heading
girl
south.
down at the truck stop
It's already
to do
in-
some
it's already
favors
south.
for you, but just saying, you know what? Here's $20. I'll leave now.
But can union companies, or why has the company and the union not got together and said, you know what? The unions should be thinking, you're going to hire people that's going to pay me, and then I don't have to give them any pension? Like, this is brilliant on
We're
their
also
part.
Yeah.
keeping other companies pay higher. I mean,
That's how you compete,
your other
'cause now you can
LTL
pay higher.
companies almost have to keep up with us to keep them from coming to us. I mean, beside their own propaganda to keep the unions out of them. Like,
But that's how you attract union jobs, is what I'm saying, is that you
personally,
give
I don't
them,
care if you're union or not. It don't make a difference to me.
apparently it does. You see,
It
Patrick.
protects me. But at the same time, we can't get rid of the people that don't need to be protected. There are a lot of bad drivers out there.
So that's the con. That's one
There
of the
is the con I'm referring to.
Right.
There's a lot of people I work with that shouldn't be behind the steering wheel, let alone in a
But you can't
semi.
get rid of them, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would be the first one to admit that, and I will tell anybody who wants to hear it. They drive me nuts. I don't want to be around them. Unlike the Walmart driver, which I know he's going to be safe. You used to be able to be around my company and be like, hey, I'm not worried about them. I worry about being next to my own drivers. I don't even look and wave at them. You just keep looking forward, stay in your own lane.
Mm-hmm.
Walmart's not that type of company.
Just tell us how you really think.
We could be here all day and just let me talk.
So you don't have an answer. So would you entertain being in the union yourself? Would you entertain a company? Let me ask you. So let's say you make $10 an hour. Let's go back to that. And your company said, I'll pay you $50. They hired in somebody new and they paid them $15 an hour with no benefits or anything. They still paid union dues. Would you be okay with that person making $15 an hour and you only making 10?
Assuming I still get all my benefits and everything.
Yeah. Yep. You're a union
I mean,
employee.
yeah.
You would be upset with like, no, mine needs to be raised to 15 as well.
The
You
issue
would argue that?
contractually you couldn't. But,
I'm
but
saying,
without
yeah,
the contract,
No,
without
they worked the contract, everything, and they said, "Here's how we're going to do this. Everyone hired in this company is going to be union, but they have an option at higher end." Now, I think
to work free.
I
Do not have any benefits.
I think you got to go retroactive and say, okay, every current employee that's here, that's a union employee, must be asked the same question. Do you want your pay raise bumped or do you want to keep your benefits? So would you be okay if they did it that way? Would you actually be okay side by side to another trucker that's hooking up, dropping hook, knowing he's making $15 an hour, you're only making 10. Now he has no benefits or pension or anything. Would you be okay with that? Dude.
It depends where I'm at in life. Hold on. I'm thinking live things.
I know.
On where
I
the
know.
kid, where you're saying the young guy wouldn't think
know.
about it as a family, coming into it as 21 years old. You just give me the money. I'm going to the strip club after we're done.
But now when you're
But
at
now when
life,
I got 2 kids
you're like, I'll take the 10.
and I'm getting a little bit older,
That's
I
right.
got a little bit of age on me.
Yeah.
Different life.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking the $10 because I mean,
You want the
from
free
my
healthcare.
life experience
Yeah.
with the son with epilepsy, which has been 2 years since the seizure, almost 2.5.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Knowing that can happen, absolutely, I would take the $10.
But not knowing that, you'd be like, shh.
But if I was a single man,
yeah, I know.
and younger, we're gonna have a good weekend. That's what we're gonna do.
Right.
And that's previous LTL. That's what I was getting a decent paycheck. I was putting big percentage.
$1.20.
That's all good. We got another topic. So
I put a big percentage into my retirement, and every weekend I was like, if I go out, we're gonna have fun. If I don't, my bank account's gonna look great.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I got kids, they're protected. Bank account still looks pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing to worry about,
Right. So, and that's the educated answer at the end of the day is,
and that's what hurts your head.
is when you hit the 35, 40, 45 years old, your mind spins is my whole point of this is you start thinking about family.
Yeah.
You think about kids and retirement. It starts crossing your mind a little bit, right? When you're in school and you're young and you're just getting out, you're thinking money, right? I mean, you're bouncing from a job, even B&C's over to Needlers, over to you're like crew car washes at 12. These guys are at 7. Whatever it might be, you're thinking cash only. I just think it's an interesting perspective. And it's a way that the union and the companies that are union should be thinking of, this is how I fix the pension. Because 8 out of 10 people you're trying to hire at 25 years old are going to say, I forego the health care, the pension. I want this. And there's no turning back. When you sign on that line, there's not at 40 years old and you're broken down and have a family that has issues. You cannot go back. You literally need to quit. You have to quit, lose your seniority, rehire on, go to the bottom of the board. If we rehire you, and the company at that point can say, we've had you for 15 years, you've been protected, and you're just horrible. Or you're the greatest employee, we're going to hire you back. However it works. And now you can have it back. You have to literally resign and reapply. I just think it's an interesting perspective, in my opinion, to fix the pension deficit that's out there with the union and a way to attract young drivers.
What's your idea of pension deficiency? Because there's different places. Like Central State has a pension for, what's it, 410 has or 310? It's one up there in Chicago, 710. They got their own pension. My company, my hub, we used to be part of Central State. They're god awful with their own money.
Central State's who I'm talking about, yes.
So we switched back to 710.
They withdrew from it. Yeah, I remember that.
Which is to the point where they're not even, the government doesn't even have to give them any subsidiaries to keep them afloat.
They don't have to.
We are above where we need to be. So when I retire, I don't have to worry about money coming in.
Currently. But you won't retire for 30 years. So think about that. You've only worked there for probably 5. You've been in real life for about 15, 20 years. You got more than double that left before you retire.
Hold on. We'll add numbers. Been there 7.5 first prick. 25 is a retirement. 30 is a full retirement.
Off iHeartRadio.
Good.
Beep. But I won't. Even at 30 years, I'll only be 59. So,
but my point of it is you got another 30 years, so things will still continue to change.
Mm-hmm.
It will evolve, and it could be up or down, this or that. Currently, the state of Central States is upside down.
Yeah.
And my whole point of that is that now you got free money that's getting put into someone else's pension that they're not even getting themselves.
I don't even like our own local, to be honest. If I had my
I'm
choice,
running next week for it.
Huh?
I'm gonna run for it next week.
Change it, because if I had my
I'm
choice,
going from black cars to green cars.
if I had my choice, we'd go back up north, but because ours is weak.
It made you think, got you aggressive to think about it. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
Is
I mean, I'll argue for it.
Do we need to think
day.
outside the box versus when you think about a union, it's very box. You're inside the box when you're on a union company. When you're outside of a union company, you never want inside the box. Right, so this Amazon is a game changer. At the end of the day,
it's huge.
It's going to make their drivers, their van drivers, and all this independent operator type of stuff.
There's 2 different contracts, though. Because you got driver contract and you got inside.
For now,
if you're smart and unionized, you keep them separate. Our company allows both sides to vote for the same contract, which is absolutely retarded. Because the people inside don't have a clue what's going on the outside. We can go all day. There's different things.
I know. It's a great topic.
Very good topic.
Yeah, awesome, man.
I didn't mean to bring up an extra half hour and Jeremy arguing back and forth, but I think
that's not
what's going to happen.
Good talk.
Needs to understand that there's so many different perspectives and different ways of skin a cat.
For your benefit, I've been on both sides of that door, so I understand union and non-union. And if I was union at the last company, I wouldn't have left it, even getting paid less.
You're listening to the Jeremy and Tim show.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that company. I enjoyed everything about it. But their supervisors could abuse the drivers without an issue.
Hence to your video that we haven't even got into. Maybe we'll do that next week.
I think we should get it today. It's fresh, if that's all right.
7-hour podcast today, folks.
Let's go.
Go get you water.
Jeremy's drinking Budweiser in the studio.
Here we go.
I got my piss bottle full.
Oh, my God.
It's a good cop. We didn't
So
revisit
Tony,
that topic.
this is what we get for taking 2 goddamn weeks off.
But we
This is what
we gotta watch some
So-
stuff though. I don't want to get sued, man. So,
Well,
I
but
mean,
we're just going to
it's-
talk about the
gotta be
video.
careful.
What am
We're
I
not
getting
gonna-
sued
I was going to say, am I involved in that lawsuit?
I don't think talking about a video is going to get us sued.
No, not this. I'm just saying. We
Fornicate that
mentioning
video.
names of companies.
We
and
haven't-
stuff.
we haven't
We haven't done that.
Yeah, we did.
No, we did not.
Oh, yeah, we did.
No, we did not.
Yeah,
no.
we did.
Amazon? That's all I mentioned.
Walmart?
Amazon and
Two
Walmart.
big ones.
That's fine. We
Who
can talk about
cares? Let's
them.
go.
Yeah, who cares? Let's go.
Partner got a third
Anyway.
one in there. I let it go.
You love this music.
This one's nice.
I feel like it's Sunday
60s.
morning.
Is this Bewitched?
That's what it sounds like, doesn't it?
Bam. Dang.
That's why I like it.
I've been around.
Jeremy from
now,
3.
now to Darren Stevens.
Right. yes. There we go. So I don't know how many of you watch. There's a show on HBO called This Week Tonight. John Oliver hosts it. So every Sunday night into Monday morning, they kind of post their segments of their show. And this week it was about trucks, and it's kind of a different look or a different perspective on how some independent drivers are paid and or not paid. So the independent contractors with like your FedEx drivers and stuff, and the main purpose of the video was just try to how to change things and get drivers paid for when they're not driving, when they're sitting and everything. So it's a really good video, and it's just kind of a different perspective on things. So, and everybody here's had a chance to kind of watch into it and give a little perspective. So that's kind of what I want to talk about in segment 4.
Yeah, so you're talking about one of the parts I saw in it was when the driver, his company charged him to use the bathroom.
Yeah,
right?
$2 to use for the toilet paper and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean I didn't know that kind of stuff was going on.
Yeah, so they're
Probably
doing
needed a $7 fee to clean up the mess.
yeah. So to clarify that a little bit more, so what you have is you do have some predatory carriers that kind of like, hey, come drive for us, we'll train you, and it's $7,000 to take the course, and then you can also buy a truck through us, and then so you ended up paying that company back for that
Right, for
truck
your
that
whole
you're
life.
using.
One went out of
instead
business in Indianapolis doing that, right?
Yes, that was Celadon,
Yeah.
right? Yep.
That's a multi-$100 million, hundreds of
CEO
$1 million
lived
company.
in this town.
There's
Yes.
a big company out there, big mega carrier that will put you up in a hotel in a vacation area, allow your whole family come down,
Yep. I know
and
who you're
then
talking
3,
about.
4, 5 days into your vacation, go pick a truck out.
No
So
kidding.
now they got you wrapped up, happy to go.
Yeah. But
you're
now
in
you
debt.
got
And if you're in the lease owner or
Yeah.
whatever,
Once a
Lease
year,
down.
there's the same company. I think you're talking about the same company. They have timeshares across the country, and every employee gets to use one of those
Oh, my
timeshares if they
God.
want.
and so now
That's a
that
good
you're roped
competitor, by
into
the
the
way.
company, my problem with the lease purchase thing is they're still telling you what miles you're putting in. I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
you're still working for them, and if you're still
always
paying
work
them for
the
your
man.
truck.
You always work for the man.
part of this video, there was a gal that was driving for one of these carriers with the lease to own thing, and her paycheck was $250. After all the
what?
after all the expenses were taken out,
For a week or a month?
for the week.
Oh, lady in the kitchen.
Yep.
You guys
Yep.
gotta check this video. It's very entertaining. by
Yeah,
the
it's
way.
it is a very good video. You can go on
Irate.
YouTube.
One word,
need to put-
irate.
Yes. Yep.
We need to put that on our Facebook, by the way, real quick. Just saying, we need to put a
video
link to
link.
that. It's very entertaining and eye opening.
It is. It's kind of gives, I had it, my Uber driver yesterday going down to Indy. He was talking about wanting to become a truck driver, and he's 50 years old. And he said he just signed up to take a course that's going to cost him $7,000 to take, and they want him to pay it off in 9 months. He goes, I can't afford to do that. He goes, I can't afford to take a class. And I said, well, you do your own thing and get your own personal loan. I said, but what you need to do before you do this is I talked about our show.
Listen to the Ship's Gonna Happen show.
Listen to the Ship's Gonna Happen show. Watch these videos on YouTube and make sure that this is something you actually want to get into to
Right.
do. Just because
Go to
there's
Walmart.
predatory carriers. Yep, be a Walmart driver. There's
Never mind that.
predatory
We're hired. We're
carriers.
putting to the school. We got
Oh, it's
there we go.
Walmart. They have, I believe, a training program. I see
Yeah,
they're.
12 weeks.
7 to 12 weeks is what
12 week
it's
training program.
But is there anything before they get to work the docks, or can you just?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I think it's
But I just-
So I see down at Seymour they have everything set up for them. They got a little road course and everything.
Yeah.
Our
I've
company
seen it
has, well, you just go straight to the school. We're paying for just straight school and hire them. So
No, all good. So going back to that video that was posted again, go look at this video, check it out. It's really good. One of the things that I always like to do is read the comments from these videos, just kind of get a different perspective, whether people agree with it or don't agree with it. And a lot of people did agree that, it's kind of BS that the way the carriers are being paid. And one of the comments is retired after 45 years as an owner operator in 2020. My pay was 50% less than what it was in 1976 due to adjusted inflation, because the new entrants are allowed in the industry at the rate of 20 grand a month. So, but I'm not so sure about that with little to no experience. And, that's right there. He's just talking about how he's not getting paid the way he was in 76 due to inflation. And a lot of people go through here to agree with the video. They're like, it's good that somebody's finally kind of showing the way that some part of the side of the industry is. So,
and my devil's advocate to that is, well, first off, my positive thing would be, like Jeremy stated, union may be the fix.
Can you unionize independent contractors? Is there a way to do that? No,
why not?
I don't think so.
You
They have their own organization.
No, just like you take them all and you say we're going to unionize every one of you and put them into a company is how that's done. But
kind of like Hollywood does it with their people work stage
and stuff.
But I personally think you can't fix that. Mega carriers. But the difference between when he started out, the mega carriers were not mega.
Right.
Where he was making $1.50 back in the 70s, 80s, and the gas prices were cheaper.
That's different than mega. Make America Great Again.
Gotcha. We're talking trucking. Where he's making $1.50 in the 70s, 80s when the fuel prices were in the pennies to low dollars.
39 cents.
Now you have mega carriers who can outbid everybody, and then they're getting subsidized to hire so many new people. How can you compete with that? Especially as an owner operator, unless you know, I believe Jorge brought it up, unless you know individual people, so you can call that company and say, hey, I can come and get a load from you right now.
Wow.
That will be what you need. Mega carriers, we're going to outdo everybody.
So, and that's
government backed
of the unionize, where you could get them all together. And the other item about that.
Well, that's why we have the convoy now.
But I always say this, but you agreed to work for said price, as in you agreed to that load at that rate when you picked up that load. So in my opinion, that's on the person that picked up the load. If you're losing money to go from Denver to St. Louis, but as in it costs you more money, that's on you. Or if you only make $100, that's on you. So the only way to fix that is the independence to say, I'm no longer bidding this. There's a guy that actually lives in this neighborhood of yours, Tony. He owns a really small truck company. He owns 5 trucks. And he was going to St. Louis and back from St. Louis every day, from Amazon to Amazon back to Amazon. You take a load down, unload, reload, and go. Every day. That was his driver's run. You know what he was charging Amazon? His funny thing, he always said, $700 plus fuel. He was getting a run to St. Louis and back for $900, we'll call it. Okay? That's to and from. That's $450 per side. My company right now, to run to St. Louis, costs you $950. And I'm talking about with fuel before it was where it's at.
Yeah.
And I'm like, D, you're losing money, dog. And he's like, and then they invited him to the Amazon Truck Driver Awards and all that. And he got a plaque and all that, which is cool for your company. You get called out, this or that, And I get it. And he was making money on it with what he was paying the driver and everything. The driver's home every single night, never touched freight. Great for his driver. Pick out your sleeper cab, pick out this. Like, drivers are all happy. Everybody's happy. Everyone's making money because that's what he was doing it for. But the industry said, you're getting hosed. You should be a minimum of $1,500 minimum. And his thing was like, well, but I add fuel. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if you're adding fuel. You're agreeing to a rate for $700 for a round trip to St. Louis. I'm not doing that. And he's like, I'm making money. He's making, he's probably making about $300 on the load.
Yeah.
With fuel. Okay. He's always like, my fuel's extra, this or that. I'm like, okay, I get it. He's independent, right? Well, they're independent. They're paying the $5.50 a gallon to your topic 1 point. And my whole thing is the drivers quit undercutting themselves. You fix that problem. Mm-hmm. To your point of this driver that retired at commented about that. And then, and if you watch this video, they're like, well, I made $250 this week. That's a driver issue. Quit underbidding it.
Yeah.
Well, in that instance with the 250, it's not the driver issue. It's they're contracted through. I mean, she worked for Western Express.
Yep.
She was a Western Express employee. He got sucked in by saying, "Hey, come work for us, and we'll sell you a truck, and you have to pay us back that truck, and we're going to determine what runs you make and all that stuff." And
While
to your
determining how
point,
fast
Tim,
you
yes,
go.
you're right. But in this instance, it
But you
wasn't
have your
that way.
CDL. Go find another job. That's my point to what we talked about. Go find another job that pays you money.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're tied to that if they're. Go ahead, Jeremy.
When it comes to something like that, I mean, all those companies are all alike. It's trying to find somebody that's going to treat you like that. I mean, that company, they're all the same.
When you say
They
they're
just
all the
wrap
same,
it up
you're talking about the
differently.
independents.
No, I mean, there's
The
lease
lease owner.
owners and then there's actual owner operators. If you actually own your tractor, you own your trailer, you can say, fornicate yourself. I'm not doing that. You can sit at home and not lose any money.
All right.
Can we do
Public. It's a family show.
Can we do it without independent contractors and make everybody just hire
Well,
through?
it's hard to be an independent now because everybody's low cutting costs like that.
Right.
Mega carriers. I mean, they're not going to lose money. They're making their money. Whether they're paying the drivers or anything, I don't know. Most of them know.
Do you think these lease owner operators
They're getting robbed. I don't know why they even do that.
Do you think they're taking the bid from Denver to St. Louis? Let's use this example I just used because they know or they're hoping that when they get back to Denver that company says, I'll pay you whatever because you did so good. So the LTL business, in my opinion, I guess let me compare the two differences, is LTL, they see the same driver every day. They love their drivers, right? The drivers is what drives those companies. They show up every day. They know they can even ask them, hey, can you look for this one next time you're on the dock? Can you do this before you get here? I want this. Can you make sure you come back and do this, right? There's that LTL relationship because that city driver is there every day. There's that relationship. Do you think that these owner operators are like, I'm going to have that relationship to where now that run, it was $1,000, well, nowadays probably $3,000 from Denver to St. Louis, that owner operator goes, it's $4,000, but that company's like, I'm only calling Sheila on the phone because I know Sheila will be here in Denver, Colorado to pick this up every Tuesday. Sheila shows up. It doesn't matter. They don't even care about what the rate is. Is there that? I love to see you guys thinking about it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I guess my question to the poll here would be, do the truckload drivers have what the LTL drivers do every day? As in, do they have the relationships? You speak a lot about relationships, David B.
Yeah.
Does a truckload driver have that relationship?
True owner operator. I believe that's what makes the difference. Because if you're leased on,
It's interesting.
you don't have, I mean, they're going to still tell you where to be, when to be there, on their schedule, and you're going to pay us to have you. Only thing you got is you may have the option to put your name on the side of that track. Big whoop. Who cares? I don't understand. You may make a few more dollars, but regardless, you're still at that company's will. Now, if you're an owner operator, you could say, I'm going to be in this place every Tuesday with an empty trailer because I dropped off a load Monday night. So if you have something Tuesday morning, I'm there for you. Without a doubt, I'll be there every Tuesday because he makes his own schedule. So if he's got something that's going to be in that area, so if he's got customer A, it's going to have a drop point in that area on Monday, that he can work with customer B after he gets unloaded, I'm going to be there Tuesday. That's knowing your own schedule and being your true owner operator.
Right.
It's not working a board. That's knowing your own people, and that's a whole different skill set.
You just said it right there. You're not working your own board, or you work on your customers, like the LTL drivers. In the industry, I'm in LTL, so everybody knows, and I feel like
What's that mean?
Without less than truckload for the listeners, and without the drivers, we wouldn't be in a lot of accounts. And they know Steve, Bob, Jill, whatever in the back every freaking day. Now, do they have any pull? Maybe not. Right? They're not the purchasing manager. They're not the traffic manager.
But they make a difference.
They're not the David B's of the world. But it makes a big difference because if there's an issue, if they know the driver, it never gets up front to the Bob, the Bill, the Jill. To the David B's. It doesn't
volumes.
It doesn't get up there, right? They neglect or not neglect. They push it off, or it's just those two talking about the issue, where it doesn't get up to the person making the decisions. Right. And I think as a owner operator on the truckload side, I'm just curious if you think that some of that, they could start charging, put an extra $100 on there and see if they notice. And then, hey, they complain of this or that. And the thing about the owner operators, they got to invoice.
That's a hard job.
They got to invoice themselves. They're running QuickBooks. I mean, they're doing it all.
Yeah, doing it all.
I mean,
they are running the company while sitting behind the steering wheel. They are.
Yep.
Everything.
Watching videos and
many
everything
hats
else while they're driving.
Going.
I saw a laptop the other day. You brought it up a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
people watch.
It's true.
Motherfucker had a laptop.
Easy, yeah, it was.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. He had
I signed an agreement with certain providers not to use foul language.
This mother trucker had a big old laptop watching a movie, going down the road, driving a big truck. Are you serious?
Well, you don't
in the middle of the night, you got a glow light stick there. Everybody can see you. I can watch the movie next to you if I wanted to watch. I'd be a little upset I couldn't listen in.
You couldn't watch your own? Is that what you're saying? You're distracted by his? You're like,
I could watch his movie with a big old laptop. I mean, come on. But
it's true story.
So going back to the video, like these independent contractors, they're not, they don't have insurance, kind of what we were talking about earlier. They don't have insurance. They don't have pension
truck
or
insurance.
Yeah.
Regular insurance.
It's expensive.
Yes.
I mean, they can't have say so with customers if they have that type of relationship, but that's something you got to work on, and that takes time.
Yep.
That's not something I met you last week. You got something to pick up. Mm-hmm. That's them calling you 7 times out of randomly. Hey, can you pick this load up on Tuesday? Absolutely. I can do this every Tuesday if you want me to.
Yeah.
And then eventually that 12th week down the road, they're like, let's just call him every Tuesday. It's a process.
It's your FedEx employee delivering that package isn't a FedEx employee.
It's lost in St. Louis somewhere. It's FedEx.
It's not a FedEx employee. It's an independent contractor or whatever. Even though he's decked out in FedEx, he's an independent contractor or whatever. So just, check the video out if you're listening to the show.
Yeah, we're going to post it. It's a great, I'll tell you what, it's one of the most entertaining. So what they do is they do real life scenarios, and then he makes laughter out of it is what he does, and I think it's fantastic way it's done.
We'll put it in
informative and funny at the same time.
Yes,
we'll put it in the links. I'll put it in the links on the YouTube channel.
And a lot of the comments, like going back to the comments of the video, a lot of this kind of explains the industry to a T and stuff. So there are a lot of positive comments about the video, which kind of surprised me a little bit. I was kind of hoping to get
about Matt and Liz, right? Where he backed in. He wanted to get out on a load. It was recently, I think I watched it, where he was ready for Saturday morning delivery, right? Mm-hmm. And so he could get back and reset. And so he gets there, and then they tell him they can't unload him. Right. So then he's got to sit there the whole Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. Or drop his truck and then go do something else. But it's like, man, seems like there'd be some charges added onto that, right? Like,
And at what point can he put those charges to where he loses the load next time?
my point is, if we're so short on drivers, right, and the shipper can't load or unload, well, I mean, is it that driver's fault? It's not the driver's fault, right? So
Yeah, they talk about that in the video. It's good stuff. Yeah. We'll put it up. I think it's a good video to watch. It's on HBO. Like, it's legit. So,
right.
Yep.
You ready for random?
Let's do it.
let's make it quick. That was random.
Hey, random thoughts. Hit it, man.
We've been off for a couple weeks again, and you're listening to the Jeremy and the Ship's Gonna Happen show. And
The Ship's Gonna Happen podcast.
We've been drinking. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that
Wild
is
beer
good, yes.
chiming in. I like it.
And so there's been some changes in our Indianapolis sports world the last couple weeks. The Colts have made a change at quarterback, and Butler has a new old basketball coach, Thad Matta. What are your thoughts on that, Timmy D? Bringing Thad Matta back.
So, if his health holds up, it's going to be a game changer.
It's a huge deal.
So, you guys know about Thad Matta. Thad Matta coached for basically about a year with Butler, and then he went to Ohio State. He's the one that kind of took Ohio State to a different level.
Yeah, right.
And believe it or not, the coach that replaced him came from Butler. I don't know if you guys know that or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So Thad Matta is legit.
I thought Matter went to Ohio or Iowa.
No, Ohio
No,
State.
that was
No, he went to Ohio State, and then it was in the front office kind of for basketball operations at IU because of his health. That's why he retired at Ohio State, because his health.
What was wrong with his health?
He just couldn't stand it anymore. Basically, is what it was.
Stress.
Yeah, same thing like Bruce Arians just couldn't deal with it. So he went to IU, whatever. Then he transferred. Now he's back with Butler. So I hate to see anyone lose their job, but it's a cutthroat world. Butler's big boy basketball. It's
Big East basketball.
Like,
Yeah.
it's legit.
I think he's going to help him.
And LeVar Jordan, unfortunately, he rode Brad Stevens' coattails a little bit. Well, there's a coach kind of in between that was let go, and I won't go on air and say what went down behind the scenes, but LeVar Jordan took over, and since he's had his own class, once you run through all that, right, with a couple of NCAAs, and he ain't done nothing. He's under 500 with just his own class, and he's been there for 6 years, and it was time for change.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to have Thad Matta. I hope his health holds up, and I hope he's good to go. And I think the expectations are high, but I also think it's okay to be low, if that makes sense.
And the Indianapolis Indians started their season this week. For those of you not in the Indianapolis area, Victory Field's a damn good place to go watch a baseball game. So if you're ever
And
in
they
town,
have the first opening week is guaranteed to be 60 or you get your money back type deal. Guess
I
what?
didn't hear that
free
this year.
tickets.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no,
they
it's
did.
out there.
They did.
Did they?
Yeah.
Your money back is another ticket for another game. Is what it is.
They're not
Guess
going to lose
what?
money in the deal, but yeah.
And guess what? It never hit 60 this week when they had games. So
If you can even deal with the rain.
gets to go again.
Yeah, definitely. So
Which is just more hot dogs and popcorn and everything else for the family. And they're just making money on that. It's a great ploy. It sounds great.
Plan on going a few day games with my schedule.
Yeah.
Let me know, because we're going to do a day game. But
Usually they're on Wednesdays, somewhere Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Usually
So they got actually a couple Tuesdays, but yeah, they got Wednesdays. My good buddy mine I throw cornhole with, he can hook us up. So
nice.
take care.
it is a good time at an Indians game.
It's great. We went last year.
We
Remember
did.
that? We
No.
went to last year.
I do remember it. But
Oh, you don't remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to the new suite. The suite down there is amazing. Have you guys know?
No, I've not been in a while.
So they have a public suite. Is what it is. So it's $75 a head, minimum 4 tickets. So it's $300. It's all you can eat. They bring out like 3 different spreads through 7 innings, and all you can drink. Right behind home plate.
They
It's
lost.
phenomenal.
When you say all you
they
can
won.
drink,
They won an extra innings.
No. They lost money that day on us.
Oh, I guarantee you that.
When you say all you can drink,
All you can drink
is.
is beer and
Pepsi?
wine, beer and wine, and Pepsis. But no hard liquor. But yeah, it's and then they bring
Sun
out
King
3
available?
spreads. They on
I
tap.
think so.
Oh, yeah.
We might have watched 10
Let's go.
pitches, maybe 10 pitches.
We sat down in the last inning and then went to overtime.
Second inning,
extra innings. And
rest
it
was history.
was done in 10.
And
So.
the Pacers' tanktastic season continues. They're just. Anyway.
What's your other random thought? I'm sorry, let them chime
Think about
in.
it. The Pacers didn't make the playoffs, but neither did the Lakers.
There we go. Yeah, but the Lakers are far bigger news than what we ever are. So, but whatever.
Well, they got a list of all-stars. They should have.
The Lakers are a good team, or a team with a great coach, and they're going to fire him because they're.
No, they already fired him.
Did they fire Bobo?
Yeah. You know why? Because LeBron James tells him what to do.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That is their problem.
So, Jeremy, do you have a random thought? Or?
I never heard of LeBron. It's been around for a while.
He speaks a lot of bullshit. Never mind. Go ahead. What's
You're
your
not wrong. I
You
got
got a
nothing.
random thought there, Barstool?
I'm still upset about the hamburger at McDonald's with no cheese on it.
There we go.
That happens.
But yes.
What?
Yeah, McDonald's has no hamburgers on their menu.
Here's the deal. When
It's
you
a
get
cheese
No, I'm
with
still upset
cheese.
about this.
when you get the cheese on the hamburger, though, it's cold.
It's been
They
like
expect it to
what
melt
are
by
we-
the time you get it.
It's
and
been
eat it.
almost 4 months
Right.
since I was here last. I haven't slept since. Are you kidding me, McDonald's?
I thought you were
Such a
looking for
bitches.
healthier options on the road. Boom! Everyone's looking at you right now. Yeah, you email
I'm
me
at
and
home
say
every day.
healthier options. On
I'll
the
tell
road.
you what I've changed my diet a little bit. I eat eggs in a salad for dinner. 6 eggs.
Nice.
Salad.
Let's
You
work-
smell like it. You smell like it.
Yeah, but it's everybody else's problem, but it's making me healthier.
Let's work on Jeremy's. You're listening to Ship's Gonna Happen. Let's do
Can you
that.
write it
Can
down
we
so I
do
don't
it?
screw it up like
Just off the top
Hold
of
on.
your head.
I want to give one random thought here real quick.
Okay,
before we
wait,
get
no,
to it.
Timmy D's got
Real quick.
something.
So, literally, my baby mama last night described it. So we had another couple over last time, got in the hot tub, and we got after it. And but before that, so I watched the Masters. I got home about 3:45 or so, and the Masters starts at 3 on ESPN. You got it on ESPN Plus, and all right, don't watch anything in your vehicle, but maybe I had ESPN Plus up playing in the background. And I get home, I got it all on. And she gets home about 5, and she said, "Golf again?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, She's like, when's it over? I'm like, Sunday around 7. And she's like, what? So we're sitting there watching. The couple comes over, and she's like, so. Buddy of mine's like, asked me about golf, this or that, and then she looks at him and goes, "This is Tim's porn. Like, the Masters is Tim's porn.
Yeah, there we go.
He won't miss a minute of this,
Yeah.
and I know that." So, do you guys know anything about golf? It's a random question.
Yes.
And I used to think my dad was old when he used to watch golf afterwards, but is there anything about golf that stands out to you?
Is Chichi Rodriguez in the lead, or is he?
Chichi Rodriguez is
Senior Rodriguez.
You know who Chichi Rodriguez is?
He had the Mexican restaurants, didn't he?
Boom.
Chi-Chi's, yeah. It's now a fireworks store on the east side.
Well, he's north side too.
You got Tiger Woods at 19 right
Fun
now.
fact, when I was 16, I got rear-ended going into a Chi-Chi's.
I have a
Everything
cut
else.
from Chi-Chi
In
still.
your vehicle?
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend in there.
I don't think he caught
We're
that.
gonna have passengers.
Were you
I made her
working?
run inside and sit at a table and grab a table for two. And sit there the whole time everything was going down. And the police goes, "So she's telling me you had someone else in the vehicle. Where are they at?" I'm like, "There's no one else in the vehicle." I played dumb.
Yeah.
I ran with it. And the cop said, "Yep, they ran into you." And my dad comes, hooked up my muffler with a coat hanger. And she's inside. We went and had Chi-Chi's that night. They closed the next week.
I was kind of wondering if he was working or if he was there for pleasure when he got rear-ended.
Oh my. Yeah. So
Sounds
to your
personal, not random.
to your question,
That's not random.
to your question, I don't really know a lot about.
You don't know?
No.
No, nothing about golf.
Not
Sorry, I
much.
got away from Mike there. Yeah, so golf is
Tiger
my-
Woods by 12.
Yeah, well, he made the cut. My dad won like $85 on
He's
this.
sitting 19 right now, +1. So he's in striking distance.
He lost 3 strokes yesterday. He was head of struggle.
Tim, have you ever been down to the Masters?
I have. I went. My dad and I went about 5 years ago. We got drawn for tickets. We went on Wednesday, the par 3. I think I mentioned in the opening was there was the most hole-in-ones on the par 3.
Yeah.
There were 6 of them. Here's a fun fact. Tony Finau that year, you look it up, Tony Finau, he had a hole-in-one We watched him when he hit the hole one. He comes running down. He starts jumping up because the greens are so up and down, and the ball is still trickling. He's walking halfway down. And he starts jumping up. His ankle bumped out of socket. He fell down.
I think I remember.
He got up and he put it back in, like his foot.
It's badass.
Literally walked up and he played the Masters, and he was like 5th for the whole fucking tournament.
That's amazing. Isn't it?
That's the same course where the guy hit it across the water and it.
Skimmed it.
So
Yeah,
I
that's it.
was there that
the
year.
issue
That's
about
what
it or
happened
something
on,
like that?
it happened on Wednesday on the practice round. So number 16 is a par 3. And typically they put the hole down by the water and they hit it up and you watch this ball just roll all the way down. So yesterday was a hole one for the same thing. Again, my porn. I love it. And so the tradition is in the practice round, what they do is the front of that tee box, they all go up and they drop a ball. And there's a steep hill and they literally just hit the ball. And the goal is how many skips can you get across the water and it still not sink?
That would
and
make
get
it a
up on the
whole lot
green.
better to know that beforehand.
So they go up and they hit it, and this dude, I can't think of who his name is. So the guy that won that year was Willett, but skipped it 12 times across the water, runs up on the green, all the way up to the top of the corner,
Comes on back.
and rolled back, hole in one, skipped it across the water 12 times.
Boom.
I'm talking, yeah.
Orgasmic.
Oh, it was. It
It's
was.
huge.
This is all. I watched it.
Skip the strip club. Let's just go drinking.
What? It is.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's my random thought.
Good stuff, man.
All right,
Shit's
so-
gonna happen. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, let's let Jeremy give his little
Yeah.
take on the show.
You're listening
So,
to The Ship's Gonna Happen.
I wrote it down.
Adam,
This is Jeremy.
Do it
You're
quick.
listening.
Do it better than John Williams.
Yeah.
Shit.
took
How many
John-
times? I get 4
Hold on,
tries.
stop. You're gonna read this?
I wrote it down. There ain't nobody watching my
I
eyes.
know, but that means you're gonna read this, which is gonna take a few times time.
I read it down.
Well, hang on. Let me
Jot
get this
it.
music off. Here we go.
Here's
Ready?
the public
Hold on,
school.
wait a minute,
Here's the
I'm
public
ready.
school version.
You tell me
What
when
type of
you're
music
gonna
do
go.
you have I can put in the background?
We're not going to put any on.
Oh.
This is
Tell
Jeremy,
me
and
when.
you're listening to.
This is Jeremy, and you're listening to the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast.
There
Love
we
it.
go.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
a
That was
take.
well done.
That's a
You
take.
sound very
and
country
done.
at that point.
One and done.
Do it without the beer tap and see what happens.
Nice.
Do it one more time.
I gotta pick up my.
No, you don't. No, let's do it from the.
Oh, it's not gonna sound the same because that was just out of nowhere.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
This is Jeremy with the Ship's Gonna Happen, and my tractor's running. I gotta go.
I like it.
That's even
well
better.
done.
I like that.
I like that. Was
Yeah.
better. That was better. Well done.
It's glad to be back, boys. It felt good today. Getting back in the saddle again.
What if we named the?
a
What if
song,
we
isn't it?
named
Back in the
this
saddle
room
again?
Tony's Truck Stop? Just
There we go.
We're broadcasting from Tony's Truck Stop or whatever.
Does that
Truck
come
stop.
with or without the girls?
The Tony's Truck Stop
I'll be here next weekend.
podcast studio or studio.
Male prostitutes, maybe just or whatever.
Is there a clientele for that?
Oh,
Interesting.
$20 is $20.
that's right.
Happen podcast.
Oh, we're getting 20 now?
You got more than wild beer though, right?
You're lowballing
Not
yourself,
loaded in
son.
yet.
Tony,
Yeah.
what have you been doing?
Been busy.
Being on vacation.
Ship's gonna happen. It's gonna go out.
Yeah.
All right. Hey,
Thank you
thanks
for
for
listening.
Busy all
Appreciate
day.
everybody.
Jeremy, thanks for coming on
Jeremy,
again
thank you,
today.
sir.
I appreciate you guys having me again.
Come back, right?
Before
Kidding
the
me?
end of the year.
Keep getting bribed like this. Why wouldn't I go?
There we go.
There we go. Timmy D, David B, nice seeing you brothers again.
Yep.
Ship's
Ship's
gonna happen.
Gonna Happen podcast is out.